Anytime, from anywhere on the field, these two teams can find the end zone. The Scarlet Knights and the Mountaineers have weapons at every skill position. Don't look away. Don't blink, or you might miss an offensive explosion. You know the names by now. Slayton, White, Rice. Today, you'll see what makes these some of the most dangerous players in the world of college football. It's not who'll score today, it's how and from where. Get ready for what should be an offensive explosion. It's West Virginia and Rutgers coming up next. It will be a sold-out Rutgers Stadium, a late-arriving crowd due to the rain. ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. It's the Scarlet Knights on their home turf against the number 7 team in the country, the Mountaineers of West Virginia. As you can see, 70 degrees, but we've had showers throughout the morning. They're on and off. Right now they're on, and that could affect the ball game today. So that big R in the middle of the stadium could just as well stand for rain as for Rutgers. And as Greg Schiano brings down his club, a team he's rejuvenated, a program he's rejuvenated over the past 7 years, they're about ready to come out of that tunnel. And for the first time ever, the only thing scarlet about the Knights are the helmets and the numerals. They are in all black today for the first time in Rutgers football history, and that goes back 138 years. They've been waiting for a game like this. They had a great game a week ago Thursday when they beat USF, and now they put themselves in position again against a highly ranked team. They try to make it 3 straight wins over top 10 clubs. Last year they were the surprise. So was the Big East as a conference, for that matter. There are no surprises left in this conference anymore, except who's going to beat who and who's going to be the survivor when it's all over. And here they come, the Knights of Rutgers. And they are ready for their team. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. A rainy Piscataway, New Jersey today, but that all-black uniform that Greg Schiano just put on his club means one thing. It's a big game. It's a very big game. You take a look at the Big East standings. I don't know at this point in the season, in Week 8, if everybody was expecting to be looking up to the Huskies of UConn, but that's the way it is. But USF and UConn get together today. So do Rutgers and West Virginia in our game today. So it's all going to start to shake out. Don't worry about it, folks. Bring in my partner, Paul McGuire. I know what I would worry about. If I was a defensive coordinator today, I'd be going crazy.
You know, Ness, I don't think I have ever seen this much speed on a football field by both teams, but especially by West Virginia. We talked to the Rutgers players yesterday, and they said they have their main concern are 2 guys, Patrick White and Steve Slayton. They said these 2 guys can score from anywhere on the field. And you know what? They're gonna.
They probably will. One of the great rushing teams in the country, over 300 yards a game. As I bring in my other partner, Bob Greasy, it's balance on the side for Rutgers, Greasy.
And I really like this offense for Rutgers. They've got the power, the inside power running of Ray Rice, and they've got 2 receivers on the outside that can make the big plays. But the key today will be Mike Teal, the quarterback, and that bum thumb of his. Took 35% of the snacks during the week. If he can't play, the whole dynamics of that offense changes.
You see him warming up. Tape on that thumb for the first time ever in a game. Big game coming up here in Piscataway next.
DLP HD TV is an official sponsor of ESPN College Football on ABC HD.
Just about set for the Mountaineers and the Scarlet Knights as we check in the 4th member of our team, Bonnie Bernstein. Bon?
Well, guys, this could be one of the better chess matches we see this year. West Virginia's no huddle isn't necessarily a hurry-up, but Steve Slayton told me they're going to try to ramp it up to catch Rutgers off guard. So how do the Knights counter that? Where they're going to run less substitution on defense. Greg Schiano told us he'll use a bunch of guys who have the ability to play multiple positions. Brad?
There's the Mountaineers coming in. They have won 12 straight in this series. Rutgers won the toss, and they want the football first. So Pat McAfee will kick off, and here we go. It'll be Townsend at the 1. James Townsend, excellent speed, a wide receiver to the middle of the field, and goes down at about the 22-yard line. And that's where the Rutgers offense will go to work, and we're going to check the Best Buy starting offensive lineup.
The
Here's
offense
Scott
is
Walker.
led by Heisman candidate Ray Rice. He averages over 140 yards a game rushing and carries over a 3.0 in the classroom. Jeremy Zuta is a 4-year starter and will graduate in 3.5 years with a degree in economics.
And the reason Scott Walker knows all that, he's the assistant director of academic support for the football players. He knows all the GPAs on that club right
the
there.
good stuff and the bad stuff.
You got that right. Here's the good stuff if Mike Teal's thumb holds up today. The Rutgers offense works from the 22-yard line. Rice, a tailback in the eye. And he'll get the call on first down, as he almost always does, but only a yard or two. And we'll check the starting defensive setup for the Mountaineers, and Keelan Dykes does the honors.
Up front, we got crazy Johnny Dingle. And in the linebackers, we got Mark Magro. And leading the way in the secondary, who's wearing the real gold and blue now, Ryan Mundy.
A little bit of a dig to the Michigan program. That's where Ryan came from as a transfer after graduating there, and that one-year plan where you could go somewhere else after graduating and play one more year of football if you had eligibility left. West Virginia shows blitz. Teal's first throw. Oh, deep out and dropped by Taekwon Underwood. So the throw was there, but the catch wasn't.
It's going to be interesting to note how well Mike Teal adjusts to that thumb. Like I said, he was 35% of the practice time, the snaps in practice this week. I think this is the first time that he's played with that thumb being taped in a ball game, although he does tape it during practice.
You saw Ray Rice with that opening run, went over the 1,000-yard mark again after a tremendous season a year ago. Here comes a blitz on 3rd and long. Teal delivers out of the backfield, and a first down is Tim Brown. Whoops, and one of the coaches got drilled over there. Brown, great speed, picks up 14 on 3rd and 8.
Yes, I talked at the beginning about speed on both of these football teams, and Brown's going to just, I mean, he has just got outstanding speed. Watch after he catches the ball. He's going to run away from the defense. He's coming across the middle. Watch this. You've got 2 West Virginia guys there, and he's gone. That's scary.
And there goes the coach at the end of the play. Brown's 19th catch of the season. He had a 72-yard touchdown catch in this matchup a year ago. Now it's Rice. And Ray on the left side goes out to about the 40-yard line. Malik made the stop. There's the quarterback, Mike Teal. 17-5 as a starter. 8th in the country in passing efficiency. Comes in with 14 touchdown passes and 6 interceptions. And the good thing, his line is 2nd in the country in sacks allowed, or fewest sacks allowed, I should say, with only 5.
Very good pass protection. Like you said, only 5 sacks on the year.
2nd down and 7. And it's Rice hitting the backfield, bounces it outside, and is going to get a first down. That's what he does so well. Paul, you talked about it this week. He gets to the outside about as quick as anybody.
You know, he's got such great feet. And when you see him go to the line of scrimmage, he's going to come and just take a look at him. He's going to come right at you now. Take a look at this guy. Boom, and then back to the outside. He does not allow people to get anything but an arm on him.
He's not a great speedster. I mean, he's not a shake and bake type of guy. But if it's closed off inside, he's got enough footwork and agility to bounce it to the outside.
He's got all the big numbers in Rutgers history. They actually didn't mark that a first down. It's 3rd down and just inches. And with that in mind, they get a yard and a lot more. Into Mountaineer territory goes Ray Rice. Reed Williams, the linebacker, made the stop.
You know, Ness, talking to Ray Rice yesterday, we asked him, and you looked at him and said, 39 times you cared about you. Did you get tired? He said, you know, I don't count it. You just give me the ball. You know, I'll do what I have to do.
Well, one of the final times he carried it last week, he fumbled, and he has been in practice this week. Greg Schiano said we've almost had to pull him off people because he's thinking about the one carry where he fumbled last week instead of the one where he had 181 yards rushing. 7th play of the opening drive for Rutgers. And Rice cuts it up. Ray Rice talked with us about the strength of this Rutgers offense.
The balance we have, man. You know, we can pass the ball, we can run the ball. It's not just line up, you know, and give me the ball all the time. And we can line up and do different things. And I think that's a strength when you got an offense that's balanced.
Ray, 5'9", 205, local product out of New Rochelle, New York, which is about an hour away. He's got a lot of family members here today among the sellout crowd that pretty much has packed the place now. They were all tailgating earlier. Rice stopped as he hit the 45-yard line by Keelan Dykes. Let's check in with Bonnie.
You know, as you watch Teal, Brad, be advised that the most pain he gets with that throwing hand is when he takes the snap. And, you know, that doesn't happen very often in games. But, you know, we were talking about this with Greasy, and it's a great point. Every time he hands the ball off, the way a running back takes it, he said, Teal told us that he just is constantly getting that hand knocked around throughout the game. So the likelihood that something's not going to happen over the course of 60 minutes is pretty slim. It's just a matter of how much pain he can tolerate.
See what he gets on the shotgun snap, and he was taking those rather gingerly before the game as well. Catches it clean on third down and fires deep out, a little bit high, incomplete, intended for Taekwon Underwood. Now, in this spot in the field, it's fourth down, but, you know, Greg Schiano's not against doing something like this. Putting in Jeremy Ito and saying, throw the ball, son, and threw it beautifully. And that helped keep a drive alive against the Bulls of USF. And here he is, practicing his leg swing. Let's see if he'll kick it away.
He's a great athlete, two handicapper, plays a lot of basketball. Very good athlete, Ito.
And they're going to do the rugby punt, dribbles it down the field. Rivers is going to field it and keeps his balance. Nice return, a gutsy move by Vaughn Rivers, and he flowed right over there to the Rutgers sideline. A 19-yard return. So it's going to be West Virginia and their sensational quarterback Patrick White and the Mountaineers offense when we come back. Their defense for the first time as the Mountaineers' first snap comes on their own 33-yard line. Patrick White in the spread. Gives it off to Slayton, who cuts it up to about the 37-yard line. The Best Buy offensive starting lineup. Listen very closely to a quiet Patrick White, the quarterback.
Man in this post on the left side of the Fab Five is offensive lineman Ryan Stanchek. At receiver, we have Darius Renard with super boings. Those are high jumps for those of you who don't know. And in the backfield, we have Steve Slayton and Owen Schmidt.
And he's looking to those guys on the left side, and instead will run it. This is what he does so well. All the way out close to a first down at about the 42-yard line. He looked to Super Boings and he looked to Schmidt, and nobody was open. They had four receivers bunched to the near side.
Right.
And White just took off with it.
They had the posse out here and tried to throw it out to the guy that was standing the furthest away, and good defensive play got up there. He just kept it.
Now they'll line up in a more traditional set with Slayton, the tailback, behind the big fullback Schmidt on a third down and less than a yard. Mountaineers don't huddle, but it's not necessarily a hurry-up. Rutgers showing blitz on third and short. White changing things at the line. Here they come. Here comes Slayton, and down he goes. He didn't get it. How about that for a stand early in the ballgame defensively?
I always like when the offense can come out and make a first down on their first possession. And defensively, with Greg Schiano being the defensive coordinator, you know he loves getting off the field with 3 and out on their first defensive possession.
So that'll force McAfee to get in punt formation with Dennis Campbell, the deep man for Rutgers. Both teams kind of use that trot to the right and rugby type kick. This one a line drive fielded down there by Campbell right at about the 20-yard line. And so both teams have had to give it up. Halloween flavor here in Piscataway. I like the look.
This presentation of college football brought to you by Best Buy. For a complete home theater experience, get HD done right at Best Buy. The Nissan Titan, proud presenter of the 2007 Heisman Trophy. To cast your vote, go to theheismanvote.com. Dr. Pepper, with 23 flavors in every Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. And Aflac, ask about it at work.
The old pumpkin patch, Halloween just around the corner. You know, a lot of people in the spirit here. We should have thought of that, guys. Bonnie and Paul and Grease and I should have done something for the day. Oh, well, we'll worry about it next year. First down, Rutgers at the 20. Rice trying to pop through the left side. Got about 3. Let's check the game plan for today, fellas.
Well, West Virginia, it's nickel and dime 'em. That's Slayton and White. Go to it.
And then thumbs up for Teal. And I love the way you put that in there. That's kind of nice. Again, if his thumb holds out, they're going to be fine. If it doesn't,
they're in trouble.
They have to change a whole lot of stuff.
And he might throw here on 2nd down and 7. Morales, the fullback, spread out to the top of your screen, and he'll come in motion. It's going to be Rice, though, and Rice really popped his Johnny Dingle. What Keelan Dykes call him, Crazy Johnny Dingle? Johnny Dingle almost broke your hand last night, didn't he?
Yeah, I came off the elevator and he said, you know, I've always wanted to meet you. And at first I think, why? But then I shook hands with him, you know, he grabbed the guy's arm and I almost broke my fingers.
Johnny almost dingled you there last night.
Morales, the fullback, came back with a nice kind of a trap block.
3rd down and short. 3rd and 2. And the rain is really coming down right now. And Teal throws and got it complete. First down out at about the 33-yard line. So Rutgers starting to move the ball a little bit. And Teal with a good throw, even with the tape thumb and a wet ball. Now the Breeders' Cup. It's the Greg Roos Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. The ladies are just about ready to go. 3 minutes to post. Greg Schiano's team with a first down now out at the 33-yard line. This time they show 4 wide receivers, but they'll keep it on the ground. Rice in the middle. And a helmet came out, but the ball didn't. So that's good news. A day like this, Bob Greasy, I know, has played in many rainy Orange Bowls in the past with the Miami Dolphins. And Grease, you got a wet ball. We're gonna wet the football for you.
Well, normally
you throw a wet ball?
You throw it over here with your fingertips so you can see it. The problem now is the solution is put your palm on the hand, drop it down to 3/4.
Whoa, we got a fumble.
And
see,
that's
it's
the
a
way
wet ball.
It's a wet ball.
That's a wet ball.
You can always
I've been waiting for 2 years for that.
Teal, high throw that time. Incomplete, into triple coverage, as a matter of fact.
2 years I've been waiting for him, and he's been bouncing that ball off the floor up into his hands.
Well, it's a wet ball.
Oh, it's a wet ball. You can't.
It's a little different.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But what most quarterbacks like to do is put their fingertips on the ball and throw it that way. If you've got a big hand, that's fine. But if your hands are smaller, then you got to get the palm of your hand on it, drop it down, and kind of throw it a little bit sideways and kind of spin it.
3rd down and 8 now, and Teal in the shotgun. Rice flanking him. Now the wind's picking up on top of the rain, coming right to left as we view the field. Teal, and he snuck one in there, but it's dropped again. 2nd time. Maybe we shouldn't be worrying about the quarterback with a wet ball. We should be worrying about the receivers.
Yeah,
Enderwood dropped the 2nd pass today.
That ball hit him right in the chest. I mean, you got to catch this football. And it's easy for us. We're sitting up here in the dry room. But you take a look at this throw. The throw from Teal is absolutely perfect. Here comes the ball there in your hands, and he dropped the ball. And it is wet.
Yeah, but Teal's throwing the ball well. There ain't no problem with that.
Ito in for the punt for Rutgers with Rivers back deep. Again, the little move to the right and the pooch punch. Rivers going to get out of the way of this one. And it takes a West Virginia bounce. It's going to be at about the 37-yard line. So good field position again for the Mountaineers on offense. When we come back, no score here at Rutgers Stadium on a rainy Saturday.
One thing that could slow West Virginia down today, Coach Rich Rodriguez told us he's gotten word that Rutgers has inside information on their hand signals, so he's changed a bunch of them. You will see on Patrick White's left wrist a wristband with the plays, and Rodriguez also told us for the first time in 3 years his team may actually huddle up a bit today, Brad.
That'd be a first. Here's White to throw on first down. Little slip screen out to Jala. And Jala goes out to the 43-yard line against the Rutgers defense. The assistant director of academic support, again, Scott Walker with the Best Buy defense. Scott?
The defense is anchored by All-American Eric Foster. Eric graduates in January with a degree in criminal justice. Brandon Rinkart leads our linebacking core. He's got a 3.7 in civil engineering. The secondary, they're all smart, they're all fast, and they love to hit.
And love to hit. They're going to have to hit right here as Slayton, they didn't hit him good enough. Got a first down at the 49-yard line.
Yes, I just want to tell you I went to school a long time ago, but I had a 4-point.
I know you did. You got a 1-0 the first year, a 1-0 the second year, a 1-0 the third year, and then you got the 4-0 in the fourth year.
No, I was in a 10-point system. It was really kind of neat.
First down, Mountaineers in Rutgers territory for the first time today. White, long count, gives it off to Slayton, and Slayton another nice gain. Got down to the 43-yard line. We got our first update of the day. Here's Matt in New York. Matt.
Back in New York, I'm Matt Weiner, keeping you current on everything happening across the country. And first up, this Taco Bell update from Louisville with the Cardinals after big expectations earlier, just trying to get above 500 today against Pittsburgh. This is Brian Brom to Harry Douglas with his 25th touchdown pass of the season, 7-0 there and in Lubbock.
Of course, Louisville considered one of the favorites coming in, as Matt said, in the Big East race. Now these two teams battling and looking up at the Huskies of UConn, who are perfect. Randy Edsall's done a great job with that program, but they'll have their hands full today as they're playing the University of South Florida Bulls, a team that Greg Schiano's club beat a week ago Thursday nights.
What did Greg told us just yesterday, I guess. He says, well, the season starts now. He says, you got 4 or 5 games left, and everybody has to play just about everybody else. So you're going to go out and win it or lose it in the next few weeks.
A graphic 0-6 versus West Virginia. 12 straight losses. Nice catch. Darius Renaud that time. First down, Mountaineers, and they got something moving now at the 38-yard line of Rutgers.
You know, when you sit here and you watch West Virginia with these guys, Renaud and Slayton and White, when you look at these guys, you think as soon as they touch the ball, any one of them touch the ball, they're gone, because they are that fast. Renaud makes an outstanding catch with his hands on this play. The ball is wet, but boy, they are frightening.
White taking his time in the spread on first down at the Knights' 38-yard line. The give to Slayton. The cutback, and look out now. Slayton in the open field. Inside the 30. Got a convoy ahead of him. Slayton down the sideline. Touchdown. What a run. That's exactly what Paul just said 30 seconds ago. As soon as these guys get their hands on it, you start holding your breath.
But you see the moves he makes, Bob. I mean, his feet are just unbelievable. I mean, this guy sets up his own blocks. He just makes people look foolish.
The longest run allowed by Rutgers all year. And it's Steve Slayton from 38 yards.
And no surprises there. Those guys have been doing this for 3 years.
Slayton's 11th touchdown rushing of the year. McAfee in for the point after. Straight up the middle. 7-0. The Mountaineers out in front. A happy Steve Slayton. Look at the smile on his face and watch him do his thing as we take a second look at the touchdown.
This play was supposed to go, designed to go to our right side. But this is the dangerous part right here. Everybody, Rutgers had pretty well defensed. And now you think, well, one of the black jersey guys are going to get him. And he just doesn't get tackled. He just refuses to be tackled.
Watch him change hands with the football, too, as he cut back to his right. Right about here, he says, I got to get going this way.
And the other guy's going to have to change part of his uniform because he just faked him out totally. I mean, it just is just unbelievable. And then to get to see those receivers downfield in front of him.
Renard and Gonzalez both got down there and got some chip blocks at least down there to get him in the end zone. So a 63-yard drive capped by a sensational run again by Steve Slayton, the All-American, moving up the career rushing charts.
Just another highlight to add to his reel.
All-time touchdown leaders in Big East history. Lee Suggs of Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, of course, lost on Thursday night to Boston College in the waning moments of that game. Now the Rutgers fans, the hardy Rutgers fans, who have come out in full force all year long, and they're here. It's 44,000 probably, but they're all covered up in parkas and ponchos. Kick is deep. Townsend won't bring it out, and Rutgers will have to work from the 20-yard line. Well, 4 races to go, guys. Chase standings up for grabs. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon are battling down to the wire. Who's going to come out on top at AMS in Atlanta tomorrow? NASCAR Nextel Cup Series on ABC coming up on Sunday. Starts at 1 o'clock with NASCAR Countdown. And the top 5 look like this. The 24 car and the double 24 car in the top 2 spots.
You guys haven't done too well picking
Carl,
NASCAR drivers.
You know, I pick a guy that's always mad at somebody, and he picks a guy that gets in a fight with his own teammate in the pits last week.
My guy.
What's the problem with him?
It's all smiles on Greasy's team.
My guy just wins.
Here's Ray Rice. He wins a lot, too, and he wins against the defense for 12 yards and a first down. Ridwan Malik brought him down, but Ray's best run of the day so far.
Take a look at the 3 down linemen for West Virginia. The linebackers behind them. Very rarely do they just play straight ahead. They'll either slant one way or the other, and then the linebackers will cover going the opposite direction.
And when they slanted, Ray slanted the other way. Already 41 yards on 10 carries. Into the rain and the wind, the Rutgers offense with Rice covering up with both hands on the football. Got maybe 2 more. You know, talking with Ray yesterday, he's a delightful young guy to be around. And I said to him, growing up, and actually I had a vision of who I thought he ran like a little bit. And I said, growing up, did you have a favorite NFL running back? And I was thinking Emmitt Smith the whole time, and I'll be darned if he didn't say, well, I really liked Emmitt Smith, but he said during the offseason I watched a lot of film of Walter Payton. He was pretty good, too.
Yeah. Those are 2 pretty good ones, I guess.
I'd say. And there's Ray's mom. She's got the helmet, the whole thing going on.
She's ready to go.
Yeah. 2nd down and 8. Again, Rice right up the middle, and looks like he's got another first down. And you know, the Mountaineers, they knew they were going to be in for a battle today, and Keelan Dykes was talking about trying to bring this guy down.
I don't know, man. You know, maybe I do not know. I mean, he's going to get 30-something carries. He's going to run the ball hard. They got a big O-line. So, I mean, it's going to be a challenge, no doubt about it. But I don't think you can stop him. You just got to hope you can contain him.
In the words of Dan Patrick, I guess. You can only hope to contain him. 3rd down and a yard. Ray Rice has got 50 yards on the ground already. And Slayton, his counterpart, with a 38-yard touchdown. That's our only score so far. On 3rd and short, Rice has got the first down, bounces out almost to the 45-yard line. So they'll move the sticks.
Isn't it interesting, Ness, when we were talking to him yesterday, Ray Rice, when he said, you know, when we was asked about his favorite plays, he likes to run up the middle. He likes to get into traffic where all that stuff is. And the one thing I'm seeing with West Virginia's defense, which I really like about it so far, is that they're not overrunning the play. They're not leaving where they're supposed to stay, you know, and wait for that cutback or whatever's going to happen over there. They're just kind of playing at home, and each guy has to play a gap, and they're doing it very well.
There's those 3 guys up front. It's a 3-3-5 basically, but that extra defensive back plays many times like a linebacker. And it's first down, Rutgers now at the 45. Rice, this time he maybe didn't like the middle so well. He only got about a yard. Reed Williams, the inside linebacker, made the stop. As we take a look at the ESPNU All-State Standings Review. Ohio State playing tonight on ABC in Nittany Lion Country. That'll be a tough one. BC survived on Thursday night. LSU's got the week off. Arizona State, Oregon. Oklahoma, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Kansas, and USF round out the top. And I think a lot of you may know or you might not know that a team with 1 loss has played in 6 of the last 9 BCS championship games. So all is not lost. If you got 1 defeat, don't worry about it, because probably everybody's going to lose.
That's true. I think everybody's going to have one.
2nd down and 9. West Virginia with only 1 loss. Here's our first flag of the afternoon.
Oh, Grease said about 3 weeks ago, there will be no undefeated team.
He's getting closer to the truth.
False start on the offense. Number 88. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
Referee Jerry McGinn. It's not easy when you got that board that you want to look through. And Greg told us yesterday they're using waterproof paper, but that's not helping when it's raining this hard. He's still got to go under the saran wrap there and try to.
Yeah, waterproof paper and ink.
Yeah. First time they've had poor weather for a football game here at Rutgers in a long time. Rain most of yesterday, all night, and still coming down here this morning. Rice bounces it outside again. Rice, as a flag goes down, might be a holding call, but he got it out to midfield on what looked like nothing, and he made something out of it. Unless he was face masked out there, he's kind of giving that indication. I thought the flag came well before the tackle, though.
You know, all you really got to do is look at the guys in black and watching them back up,
Yeah,
so you know exactly who it's on.
Yeah.
But you know this is something that Rice just basically did on his own to get outside, and there were white shirts from West Virginia out there. They just didn't make the tackle.
Rice going to go to the sideline for the first time today. Our X Factor brought to you by Citi. This is Grease's idea. Best trick-or-treat place, because these coaches are not against a little chicanery.
A little trickery.
Yeah.
They've both been known the last couple of weeks, especially Greg Schiano with Rutgers. But we've seen a lot from Rodriguez on the other
that's
side.
right. Back in the Sugar Bowl a couple of years ago, a trick play that won the ball game over Georgia.
They all have them,
Yeah.
and they all work on them, and they all have them at their ready. It's just a matter of pulling the trigger.
Mason Robinson in the backfield with Mike Teal for the first time today, and they're going to give it to him. He's a speedster. Tripped up, though, as he got to about the 36-yard line by Morty Ivy, the outside linebacker.
And again, let me just repeat, I just really like the way that West Virginia's defense, they stay at home. These guys, if the play is run to the right, the guys on the right are supposed to handle it. The guys on the left, if they're going to cut back, you be home when they get back there.
That sounds like something you'd say to Beverly. You be home when I get back there.
Well, I told her on the phone today, you better be home when I get back there.
3rd down and bunch. 3rd and 19 for the Scarlet Knights here in the waning moments of the first quarter. Rice back in with Teal in the backfield. 3 wideouts on 3rd down and a mile. Here comes a blitz off the corner. The run goes right up the middle. And Rice got some of that yardage back, but they're going to have to give it up. But they won't have to give it up probably until the second quarter, as we're down to the final seconds here. Quarter number 1. Rutgers at home, trailing now after 15 minutes to the 7th-ranked team in the country. Steve Slayton did the honors. 7-0. It's the Mountaineers in front at the end of 1.
Welcome to the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, Interchange 9, New Brunswick, New Jersey. College football lives here forever.
My brother.
My brother.
All right, fellas. Good job. And we didn't have to pay the toll. They let us through. We start the second quarter, and Rutgers in punt formation. Ito set to kick, and again, Rutgers uses that spread punt formation. High snap. He handles it well. Gets the kick away. Line drive fielded by Rivers on the run. Rivers near side, and he's all the way up to about the 40-yard line. So a pretty nifty return. You know, it is Halloween.
Hello. Start talking.
Curly, Larry, I'm Mo. It's nice to have you along with us. Sold-out crowd here. The Three Stooges, we've been called a lot of things. We figured this one was pretty apropos. So, happy Halloween, everybody.
Well, happy Halloween, and Gracie looks the best he's ever looked.
Back to the live action. First down, West Virginia after the nice punt return at the 39-yard line. Rutgers shows blitz and they bring it. Patrick White, little dump pass to Schmidt, the fullback, and he is rumbling for a first down and takes a couple of guys with him. Owen Schmidt, our unsung hero. This is a guy that, amazing story, after transferring from Wisconsin River Falls, walked on in Mountaineer Land, and now he's a #1 rated fullback by Mel Kiper, our comrade, and he is a load, 260.
I really like this kid, a fullback that can block like a lineman and catch like a halfback.
Transferred from Division III and kind of drove around the country with his parents trying to sell himself to a Division I program, and boy did he find a home, and as he becomes some kind of player. Pass complete to Renaud. He got about 5 to the 44.
Well,
you know, you guys have never looked better, by the way.
Hey, we were just thinking about you.
You know, when you were talking about Schmidt, well, here's a guy. Folks, listen to this. This is true. He has broken 9 face masks, 4 of them so far this year. So look out. He's going to stick it in your face.
Second down and a long 5 right at the 43. Slayton. And he's going to be close. Got inside the 40 to the 39. A big pile up there. And now they're saying the ball came out. I don't think so. Very close to the first down. Steve Slayton has our only score of the day. If you're just joining us, capping a 63-yard drive with a 38-yard touchdown run. You see Rich Rodriguez, as Greg Schiano would say, you know, Rich is the quarterback. Patrick White isn't. Because he's running the show. And White looks over to him. And Grease, that's kind of how they relay everything.
Well, oftentimes, if they have time, Pat White will look over at him right now as soon as the defense gets set. And he'll say, what do you like? I mean, there's still 25 seconds left on the play clock. So sometimes he'll look over and Rich Rodriguez will change the play because he sees the defense.
Third down and short. Blitz is coming. White's going to try to do it on his own, and he gets it down to the 35-yard line. That's the added dimension that he adds. Rich Rodriguez in his 7th year, as is Greg Schiano. Rich over 100 wins, 3 Big East titles. You know, he started at Tulane with this type of offense, and he did that there. And then he went to Clemson, and he had Woody Dantzler, and he kind of did the same thing there. And now he's got Patrick White, who he can relay from the sideline what he wants run on every play. And he's looking over at him again right now. White on the run, spins away from one guy and then goes down in a puddle. I tell you what, the field turf's taking on some water right now, fellas. There's some pools out there.
And I'll tell you what else is out there. There's the running backs and quarterback and the running backs, Slayton. And these guys are trying to tackle with their hands, and you can't do that because they're moving. Every time you reach out for them, they're gone.
At least there's good footing, Brad. There is some puddles and there is some water gathering, but it's not like the old days.
Right.
It's not mud. There is some grass.
Mike Dent, you see his big hand around that football as he'll snap it into the spread to Patrick White on 2nd down and 7. White, had it knocked down, almost picked off by George Johnson.
Yeah, he got a bad snap from Dent because of the wetness, and it kind of threw the timing off.
You know, White's playing with an injury too, a chest shoulder muscle on his non-throwing shoulder, but it's been very, very sore, and it happened here against Syracuse. This is where the play, when he went down on that shoulder, and a lot of pain, and he's had pain throughout the week as well.
It's the right shoulder,
right,
not the left. He's a left-handed quarterback.
That was his first incompletion. And now a really bad snap. Through his hands. Let's see if he can get on top of it. And he does, way back at the 45-yard line.
Well, that's the Wayne. It's finally got. It's strange that the first fumble or bad thing that could happen happened with the center on a snap.
Yep. A loss of 23. Watch this one. This could be a Three Stooges thing. Whoops.
But I'll tell you, the good thing that he did, though, Patrick White knew that he had to run back about 15 yards, is he fell on the ball. He didn't try to pick it up, get hit and fumble. He just said, hey, we'll punt. We're ahead. We're going to get the ball a lot more.
So McAfee will come in to kick. James Townsend is back deep. They're coming after the punter. He got it away, though. And that might have hit a Rutgers player, I believe. West Virginia says they have it at the 30. And I think they do.
Well, this is what happens with this kind of punt, Brad, is what these guys are running down the field. These are low darting punts, and these guys don't even try to get the ball up in the air. So when you're running down coverage, you've got to turn around and pay attention to what's going on. And what happened is it hits a defender right in the back on the right-hand side. Watch this.
Right there.
Boom, in his back. And look at the heads-up play by West Virginia. They're on the ball.
Morty Ivy, the linebacker on the special teams. Here's another look. That punt coming down and right in the back of one of the gunners. And so West Virginia gets their first big break of the day. After losing a ton of yards on the bad snap, they go right back to the Rutgers 31-yard line. First and 10 for the Mountaineers, who are in front by 7 with 11:07 remaining in the half. White going to keep this all the way. The cutback run inside the 20. He might take it. Run out of bounds, but not before he got down right in our parab mic as you heard the thud at the 12-yard line.
Can I just go back for a second on that head, the ball that went over his head, how heads up it was to just fall on the ball, kick. They got it right back. And look at the moves of this guy.
This is a quarterback that can run. And in these day and times when you're getting a lot of quarterbacks that can run a lot of spreads, this guy is the best.
More and more prevalent in college football. Here he comes again, and this is run all the way too. And he really went down in a pile at the 10-yard line. And we've talked about how fast these guys are, and sometimes you kind of go, yeah, right. Well, I trust West Virginia's 40-yard times on these guys. Slayton supposedly the fastest. I wouldn't want to see him in a foot race with any of those guys, though, to see who would win. And we've seen Slayton's speed. We've seen White's just a couple of plays ago.
These two guys on the left, Slayton and Devine, are running backs. Of course, White's the quarterback, and the other one was a wide receiver.
We haven't seen Noel Devine yet today, but we will. At the 10-yard line, it's Schmidt the fullback, trying to get a tough yard in the middle. And it was Munoz, the inside linebacker, who made the stop. Don't forget, tonight, more college football on ABC. Their sights set on a Big Ten title and maybe a whole bunch more. Top-ranked Ohio State's got to go to Happy Valley, though. It'll be a tough one. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. College football lives here. That's what the Rutgers fans are saying, too, but they're trying to keep the Mountaineers out of the end zone for the second time today. 3rd down and 6. And they're telling Patrick White, the coaches from the sideline, hurry up. Down to 2 seconds, and he's going to have to take a timeout.
Can't do it.
Didn't get it in time. We'll take a timeout with him. 9:38, first half, West Virginia by a touchdown.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC.
And you're watching the Mountaineers of West Virginia with a touchdown lead, trying to pick up a 3rd and 6. They can get a first down inside the Rutgers 2-yard line.
Got him spread from sideline to sideline, the defense.
With Slayton and Schmidt flanking him, and it's Patrick White. The run all the way, and he's got the first down, but not the touchdown. Down to about the 1.
It must be a joy to have that much speed and agility and then get behind all those big guys and just kind of walk yourself into the end zone. He got to the 1-yard line, but when you see him come down, they just spread everybody out like Bob was talking about from sideline to sideline, and here they are spread out. Now watch when he just takes off, it's amazing. Watch these guys get out in front of him. The fullback is there, Schmidt, and he just waits, he waits. Man.
Gets it down to the 1 where it's 1st and goal for the Mountaineers. And Schmidt, the fullback. The single setback behind Patrick White. Fakes it to Schmidt, keeps it himself, dropped the ball in the end zone. Hold on.
They called a touchdown.
Yeah, all the white shirts called a touchdown. I haven't seen a striped shirt yet.
The line judge did call touchdown, but let's wait and see. They're still unpiling bodies. I want an official word here because that ball was out.
Just remember it. If he has possession and it just touches the goal line, it's a touchdown.
It doesn't matter. It's all going to go back to be reviewed.
Absolutely.
But all that ball, if he's got control of the ball when the ball touches the line, not the player, it's a touchdown.
Nick Traynor is our replay official today, and we know Nick's going to be looking at this as you see White come right towards you.
As soon as the ball hits it, no, the ball's out.
The ball is out.
But they get it back.
The ball is out before he ever hit the goal line. So we'll see what the replay officials have to say. Again, the line judge signaled touchdown on the field.
Well,
and we get another look from another angle.
The ball is out before, so it all goes to who recovered it in the end zone. It's out there. Now who recovers it? If West Virginia recovers it, it's a touchdown.
White trying to get on top of it, trying to untuck that shoulder. It looks like he's on top of it.
He's got it.
That's a real good look right there, as a matter of fact. And you can see the Rutgers fans are hoping that goes the other way.
You know, one thing that this rain has done, this is a very loud stadium. It has taken this crowd out of the ball game to some degree.
Completely. 9 minutes right now remaining as we're under official review on what would be Patrick White's 1-yard touchdown, and it would be his 11th rushing touchdown of the season, as was Slayton's earlier. But we're going to wait on this, wait on Nick Traynor, and then we'll get the word down to Jerry McGinn, and Jerry will let us know. Meanwhile, Patrick is saying, I think I not only was in, guys, but I covered it up. And he's talking with the offensive staff of the Mountaineers, including Calvin McGee. So this would be taking advantage of the punt situation where the Mountaineers got the football. You can see the ball's out before he hits the goal line, and then it's a one-hopper, and then Patrick desperately trying to get that arm tucked. I'm sure that's really doing great work on his chest muscle that's been injured already.
That's that right shoulder and chest muscle that is injured. If somebody just lands on top of him and the ball is right there, could affect that area.
A reminder coming up, the Capital One halftime report. John and Craig and Doug will have all the scores and highlights, a breakdown of the BCS, and they'll look ahead to that big matchup tonight coming up in Happy Valley between number 25 Penn State and the top-ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State. Other games that also started at noon in the Big East. Louisville, Brian Brom, another touchdown pass at least. I know Matt Weiner told us of one, might be two, and Louisville out in front of Pitt, 14-0. Rich Rodriguez is saying, what in the heck is taking so long?
Well, the only question is now, did White land on the ball? I mean, have the ball? Because he did fumble it. It was fumbled outside the end zone. He gets back on the ball. I mean, I don't know what this big deal is about.
6 minutes to post on the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Juvenile, huh?
Yeah. And Monmouth Park, you might ask, where's that from where we are? It's about, what, 45 minutes away, guys? Something like that?
45 minutes away.
Breeders' Cup coming up. The Bessemer Trust Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and Warpass is the favorite in that one.
I like Pyro, though. You know, McGuire likes fire, so
yeah.
I'm going to go with Pyro.
It's a touchdown. 1 yard, capping a 31-yard drive. Patrick White from a yard out. 13-0 right now, the extra point pending.
That's the instant replay guys are next door. I just went over to see if they let me in, but they locked me out.
I was wondering where you were. We were kind of hoping you were gone for good.
We should have locked the door.
Yes, we should have. McAfee with the extra point. It's good. So the Mountaineers on the road doing business in Piscataway by 2 touchdowns.
This presentation of college football brought to you by Best Buy. For a complete home theater experience, get HD done right at Best Buy. Dodge, live life to the fullest. Dodge, grab life. DLP HD TV. DLP is the official ESPN on ABC HD telecast sponsor of college football. And Allstate, proud sponsors of college football. Are you in good hands?
The Great American Railway. That's in Flemington, New Jersey, the largest of its kind in the world. Miniatures. Look so real that I'm about ready to hop on there and head home. But we got 3 quarters left almost. A rainy Rutgers Stadium, and it's 14-0. Paul did go next door to talk to Nick Traynor.
Nick Traynor told me that when the official put his hand up, it's a touchdown. It's not reviewable. So, but he threw his hands up and he didn't cross the goal line. But he said West Virginia did recover the fumble. I'll get to it in a second.
Here's a line drive kick. Mason Robinson picks it up at about the 14. He cartwheels his way out to the 34-yard line.
And so I said to him, he said, well, once he puts his hands up, that's official. It's like the whistle being blown, Bob, the play is dead, so it would have been a touchdown. I said, what if they wouldn't have fallen on the ball? He said it still would have been a touchdown because they blew the whistle.
Then luckily for the straightness of the game that Patrick White got on the ball, because it was not a touchdown as he put his arms up. So,
but it's not reviewable. Once they put their hands up and they blow the whistle, the play is over.
But you can recover your own fumble in the end zone, which is what happened. So it's okay. It turned out all right.
That's right.
Bob, you're nodding.
I'm just not dropping it because everything turned out all right.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Some other things would have happened. I would have some questions.
Me too.
Yeah.
At the 33, Teal, play action, might want a big one here, throws, and this is going to be intercepted. Nope, dropped. Antonio Lewis had a great play on the ball. Teal took a big hit, and that ball never had a chance, either because of his thumb or Johnny Dingle letting him have it as he let go. Our Pacific Life game summary so far, you can sum it up with the 5 and dime guys, I guess. Ray Rice has had a good game so far with 63 on the ground, but Rutgers has not scored a touchdown. Meanwhile, Steve Slayton and Patrick White. Slayton, his 11th touchdown run of the year on a 38-yarder. Patrick White added a 1-yard plunge a few moments ago. His 11th touchdown of the year, and it's 14-0 here with 8:50 remaining in the half. Mike Teal's only 2 out of 7 throwing the football on a rainy day at Rutgers. Here's Rice straight up the middle and out near the 38-yard line. Mark Negro made the stop from his linebacker position.
Well, that last play that was almost picked off down the sideline, Teal took a huge hit.
Yep.
And that's what caused the ball not to go as far as he wanted it to be.
He's going to have a 3rd and 5 that he's looking at right now. We got a lineman down. Mike Fladell, I think, is the injured party. Rutgers, they've run it 18 times and thrown only 7. That might be by design because of the rain. It might be because Ray Rice is picking up nice chunks of yardage. But somewhere along the line, they're going to have to get it to one of those wide receivers and make a play because they trail by 2 touchdowns.
The big play guys are on the outside.
Yep. Time for our Aflac trivia question while we've got a moment here.
Whack, 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 whack.
It's a great day for Ducks or Geese. Who's the only Big East player to win the Heisman Trophy? Think about it. Think about it. Now remember, it's close to Halloween. There might be some trickery in there.
There you go.
In the question.
You got to throw that out.
That's right.
Got to warn them.
That's kind of a hint, I guess.
The old trickery.
The old trickery. 3rd down and 5 for Rutgers. Boy, they could use this 1st down to keep a drive going and try to get some points before halftime. Now they spread everybody out. Rice comes out, so is Corcoran, the fullback, and it's Teal all by his lonesome in the shotgun. Mike goes over the middle, completes, and it's a 1st down, and finally they get one to the wide receivers, and Underwood holds on to this one.
It's huge for Rutgers. They need to stay on the field, their offense, and they need to get some points out of a drive. 14-0. The crowd is wet. They're damp. They're taken out of this ball game. The crowd wants to come back in this game. They want something to cheer for, and Rutgers needs to score on this drive.
Remember, they're used to either 3:30 games or night games. It's noon. There wasn't a lot of time to, you know what I mean, tailgate this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, really tailgate. On the run, it's the backup quarterback, Jabu Lovelace, and he's a good runner and got to the 49-yard line. A reminder, the country music's biggest night is coming up on November 7th on ABC. Performances by music's hottest stars, and for the first time ever, an exclusive award show performance by the Eagles. Hope they do take it easy. Running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. Actually, only my wife. I take that back. It's just a lyric for the Eagles.
What was that? What did he say, Paul?
I don't know.
I was just singing an Eagles song. I'm sorry.
I'm
He
not
didn't mean it, Nancy.
I'm not taking your call, Nancy.
2nd down and 4. Here's Lovelace on the run again. 1st down. Now, we thought we'd see number 15 today because of the things he can do like that. Will he stay in now? And will he keep playing, or will Mike Teal take over the spot?
Jabu's big threat is the run game. He's thrown the ball only 5 times this year, and he's rushed 28 times. So when he comes in, he likes to run the football.
Rutgers got another guy down. This time it looks like maybe one of the wideouts. And we can't see the number yet, and now we can, and it's Tim Brown.
Yeah.
Tim, who had a catch earlier in the ball game. A lot of speed. And that would be a big chunk of their offense on the outside to be taken away. A lot of these guys would like to play sometime on Monday Night Football. Monday night at Mile High. Brett Favre of the Packers rolling into Denver. Can they get a win against Jay Cutler and the Broncos? We'll find out. 8 o'clock Eastern, Monday Night Football on ESPN. Coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown.
And you're going to have World Series out there in Denver.
Oh, that's a lot
of
stuff going on.
Yeah, I hope they don't get any snow.
Yeah, well, maybe they should think about starting the World Series a little bit earlier in the year.
No, they wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Can't do that.
No. They said, why didn't they put a roof on that stadium? Well, they didn't think they'd ever be in the World Series, so what are they worried about?
Good for them.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC.
Mike Teal has come back in at quarterback now that Rutgers has got a first down in Mountaineer territory at the 40-yard line. And that might mean more Ray Rice upcoming. Loveless did a nice job when he was in there running the football. Now it's Rice, right side. Ray's got some room and got close to 10. Run out of bounds near the 30-yard line by Larry Williams.
Well, that was a perfect hole. I mean, a perfect hole. They sealed that off and let Ray Rice just, didn't get touched until he got about 8 yards down the field. This play is coming off to the right. Take a look at the right. Now watch the blocking by the tight end, and then here's the guard pulling up inside.
Wait for your guard.
He's not waiting for anything.
That was Fladell, 72.
About a yard shy of the first down. 2nd and 1, and now it's Loveless again, and another first down. He's inside the 25. Ryan Mundy made the stop, but the two-quarterback system for Rutgers is working right now. Speaking of which, we asked you the Aflac trivia question a little while ago. He was the only Big East player to win the Heisman Trophy. Trick question, Gino Torretta when Miami was in the Big East in 1992.
Miami was not in the Big East at the time. Were they? They were, but they were, but I understand that, but they weren't in for as long as Rutgers and all these other guys.
Well, no, and you can go and say
they're a new guy.
Syracuse is in the Big East now, but at one time they weren't, and Ernie Davis won the Heisman Trophy. So there's variations of the question.
Yeah,
and the Citadel would love to be in the Big East.
Sure they would. Who are they playing today?
I don't.
They playing Georgia Southern today?
Oh, yeah, Georgia Southern. They're going to beat them, too.
The Eagles will be all over you boys.
No, I gave them a pep talk.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
That's a kiss of death right there.
Yeah, that was exciting.
2nd down and 6. That must be exciting. He gives us one every week. It doesn't do anything to us.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
At the 21-yard line. Rice stops and tries to cut back and didn't get anything that time. Morley Ivy, the guy that recovered that errant punt a little while ago, is the guy that made the stop.
Well, they have some active linebackers, West Virginia, and they play those 3 down linemen, and those linebackers really are moving. But they also, you got to understand, they're also responsible for gaps. And if you noticed, when Ray Rice tried to cut back, there was no opening at all. Most of his yardage has really come from going on the outside.
Well, that's the first time he's been stopped for no gain or a loss all day.
This defense for West Virginia is veterans. They have 8 fifth-year senior starters on that group.
Mason Robinson comes out as an extra wide receiver, and it's Mike Teal in the gun on a big 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Teal deep, touchdown Rutgers.
Great throw.
No, the ball's out. Taquan Underwood. I beg your pardon. He had it and dropped it.
Boy, was that a perfect pass.
Here's another look from the end zone.
This is just a good throw. It's a great hit by Mundy, too. Very fair. That's a good, they call it the bang-bang play.
Yep.
The ball's right there. The receiver's up. Can he catch it? The defensive back is doing everything he can. And the ball comes out. Defense wins.
Jeremy Ito's going to try to get something going here on a 39-yard field goal attempt. He's got 69 career field goals. He's a good one, and he's got another one, number 70 on his career. At least gets Rutgers on the board with 4:39 to go in the first half.
Now it's time for the Allstate Good Hands Flashback. With starter Pat White injured, the Mountaineers needed a heroic effort from their backup quarterback, Jarrett Brown. In the third overtime, the redshirt freshman came through with a 22-yard TD pass to Brandon Miles.
Throw downfield. Touchdown, Miles. Oh, what a grab.
On the ensuing two-point conversion, Brown found Darrell Jalot, which proved to be the winning margin.
Game day.
Like your breakfast.
Birdwood, your new car's rolling.
It's not stolen. I just bought it.
It's gonna hit that truck.
There's no need to swear.
Hot car, huh?
It's on fire.
Do you have new car replacement? Call Allstate to sign up today. Are you in good hands?
IBM presents the 25 greatest players ever. Number 17, Bronco Nagurski. Before becoming one of the monsters of the Midway, Nagurski was an All-American defensive tackle and fullback at Minnesota. The Gophers lost only 4 games during his career and won the 1927 Big Ten Championship. IBM, getting it done.
Wow. The golden of all-time Gophers. If he's only number 17, I can't wait to see number 2 and number 1 announced on New Year's Day on ABC. Bronco Nagurski. That's behind Dick Butkus, Jim Brown. You know, just some guys.
Just some guys, huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty good players.
Yeah.
All-time greats.
Do you know? You voted on this thing. Do you really know?
He won't tell us. He won't tell us.
He won't tell us.
I would swear to secrecy.
You know. Kick fielded at the 4. Slayton bringing it out. Flags go down at the 26-yard line. A penalty marker near the tackle. Boy, you talk about pulling the stop. Steve Slayton running back kicks, playing out of the backfield. And we'll wait and see on the penalty. We haven't had many penalties today. The rain has subsided a little bit right now.
Going to return. Holding. West Virginia, number 88.
West Virginia, the fewest penalties per game in the Big East, and that is their first one of the day as we check in with Matt Weiner in New York. Matt?
All right, Brad, this Sports Center Minute powered by Vizio. The favorites are 2 for 2 at the Breeders' Cup so far. Bessemer Trust Juvenile goes to Nick Zito's War Pass. The 2-to-1 shot paid $6.40 if you had the winning ticket. Meanwhile, Mississippi State is running up and down the field at Kentucky. Anthony Dixon's second touchdown pass of the game has given the Bulldogs a 14-7 lead in Lexington.
Kentucky played some big football games. They don't want to lose a home game. They still got a tough stretch ahead in the SEC. Rutgers fans come to life as the Mountaineers are back at their own 15-yard line, but White is bringing them out and bringing them in a hurry. Patrick White across the 35 and out to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 22 in a hurry.
So the old catch lightning in a bottle? I don't think so. I mean, he's got more moves. He made about 8 or 9 moves running about 25 yards. I mean, just watch the moves that he makes from behind him. Here comes Patrick White. What? There's the first one. That's 1. Now outside, that's 2. Back to the inside 3. Back to the outside 4. No.
Pretty good running back, huh?
I'd say. First down at the 37. And they've got 2 of their timeouts remaining. Now it's Slayton. He cuts back to the middle and took a hit big time as he got out near the 42-yard line. Eric Foster, the All-American defensive tackle, made the stop for Rutgers.
White has carried the ball 2 more times than Slayton has. White was out of Daphne, Alabama, wasn't he,
Yep.
Brad? And a lot of teams wanted him, but they didn't want him to play quarterback. So
Rich Rodriguez said, "You can play quarterback for me."
Come on up here, son. I got this spread offense, and you'd be ideal.
Yeah, they'll love you in Morgantown. Come on up.
He has been ideal for 3 years.
2nd and 6. This time right in the middle of the pack. He's only going to get about a yard, and that's about it. Of course, Rich Rodriguez knows, as Grease would call them, nickel and dime, 5 and 10. They're both pretty special.
It's easier to call plays, you know, because a lot of times you'll call a play and they'll make a bad play good and a good play really good. And, you know, when you have 2 explosive players, they can do that. I think also the fact that, it helps the other guys on the team, the young guys that play those same positions, learn how we do things.
Right now, 3rd and 5, they're doing it pretty well, and this time it's through the air. First down throw, Jala, and a flag flies in at the end of the play.
How many times have you seen a coach in an interview, Brad, where he smiles the entire time? I mean, you think he's not happy about those two guys?
He was smiling last night, too, when I was talking to him at the hotel. But he knew he was going to be in for a battle. He said, Greg's turned this place into a really tough place to play football. Face mask. Incidental face mask, so 5 more tacked on for West Virginia. They still got plenty of time to work with, fellas. 2:44 till halftime.
What do you say about White being a quarterback, Bob, when you watch him throw? Is he a good thrower?
Oh, he's a good thrower, but he's not going to play at the next level as a quarterback. There's no way. You look at we got 22 seconds to go. Pat White may look over to the sideline because Rich Rodriguez is there. Maybe changing the play, maybe not.
I thought West Virginia flinched on the right side a little bit. Foster jumped in there, but I thought the right side, maybe Capers came out of his stance a little bit, just a flinch. We'll see.
Not used to the quarterback being under center.
Yeah, exactly.
West Virginia, I love it. They're pointing at Rutgers. Rutgers points at West Virginia.
I just thought there was the slightest motion on the right side of the West Virginia line before Rutgers jumped. But the officials will let us know. What do you got, Jerry McGinn?
Prior to snap. Ball start on the offense. Number 66.
And it was Selvish Capers, the guy that I thought I saw move just a little bit before the snap. And he did. So West Virginia still, though, with 2 minutes, 32 seconds to work. And they've got great field position at the 47-yard line of Rutgers. White with a touchdown, Slayton with a touchdown. And the 7th-ranked team in the land with a 14-3 lead right here, late in the second quarter. Comes a Rutgers blitz. Patrick White play fake and comes up firing. Complete again to Jala inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
You know, Paul, you asked how Pat White, how good a player, well, how good a quarterback. He's a good thrower. He makes all the easy throws. I mean, that on the run, that was not an easy throw, but throwing on the run, he's very accurate. You know, I just love him as a runner at the quarterback position. There is nobody in this country that is better doing what he does in this system.
He is 6 out of 7 throwing the ball so far today in this first half. Second down at 2. Slayton wants to cut back. Does. There's a lot of black jerseys, though, there to meet him. And a loss of about a yard. Bonnie?
You know, in talking to White, he really has worked on his passing game, particularly over the summer. And not just on strengthening his arm, but really working on his mechanics, which, when you take into consideration, he was a really good baseball pitcher. He was drafted by the Angels in the 4th round. And he said, you know, being used to winding up as a pitcher and having that long release, it's been really hard for me to try to shorten it. He said, from a consistency standpoint, he's not still exactly where he wants to be, but he really has seen some progress.
Today is the first time he's ever completed a pass against Rutgers, even though he's a 3-year starter. Was injured 1 year and 0 for 1 the other. Here he comes with the legs again. And he's got a first down all the way down to the 22-yard line.
You know, Brad, you're in such a dilemma with him, and Slayton's back there, and he fakes to him. But when this guy's running with the ball, until he gets to the line of scrimmage, you're really in the middle of nowhere because you don't know whether he's going to stop and throw the ball, in which Bob says throws well, or he's going to just continue with those legs of his and pick up a first down. This guy is really, really dangerous.
The thing is, he can stop on a dime, and so he can throw at any moment if he gets a little bit of a crease. Third time he's rushed for a first down on 3rd down today. Now on 1st, comes up throwing, and this one is not a good pass intended for Renaud, and that could have been dangerous, could have been picked off over there on the near side.
You talk about the rankings, the BCS, who belongs in the top 5, who belongs in the top 10. With Pat White healthy, West Virginia belongs in the top 7.
No doubt.
7th, ranked 7th or higher. I mean, we talk about teams with 1 loss. They've got it with a 1 loss. 3 of their last 4 games are at home. So everything is set for them to run the table and win this conference and then see where they are at the end of the year.
Remember, their only loss was the University of South Florida, and they had 6 turnovers in that game. Here's White on the throw, and he almost turned that one over. Incomplete.
And Pat White was hurt in that loss to USF.
Everything's going to shake out in the Big East starting today because USF and top-ranked Connecticut, the #1 team. But for West Virginia, they still got Louisville, and that's no day at the beach. Yep. At Cincinnati, they've been a top 25 team most of the year. UConn's in the top 25, and then Pitt's the last game on December 1st, so there's a lot of work left to do.
That Louisville game should be about 280 points.
Louisville was winning today the last time we heard by 2 touchdowns. White high snap, quarterback draw, can't get away. Nice job defensively by Jamal Westerman. He stayed home and made the stop.
If Jamal Westerman doesn't make this tackle, it's touchdown.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. He's gone.
Clock down to 10 seconds. West Virginia's going to take all the time they can here and then go for a capping field goal. As McAfee's warming up on the sideline, they're just waiting for the proper moment to call the timeout with 2 seconds remaining. So Pat McAfee, who is 8 out of 9 on the year. Last year he had 4 field goals in the triple overtime win against the Scarlet Knights last season. This week in college football, as you think back to late October 1930, a couple of past presidents, Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon, both played college football on this date. Reagan for Eureka College, they beat Illinois Wesleyan, and Nixon for Whittier College lost to San Bernardino.
Isn't that great?
That's pretty cool, huh?
Played against both of them on the same day.
And you're not even a Republican. No. So here comes McAfee to try to tack 3 more on the final play of the first half.
Not very often you'll do a game and both teams have the same punter and place kicker.
That's right.
Do all the
both
work.
duties. Yeah,
they do both duties.
This will be a 42-yard attempt. You see the season long for Pat is 49. And now it's going to be a little bit of a timeout taken by Rutgers to try to ice the kicker. We've seen this time and time again, and I wish they'd come up with a rule where there's a certain point where you just can't call the timeout so late. Urban Meyer tried it against Auburn. That didn't work. Kid hit it twice. They won. But it's there should be at some point where you go, you can't wait until they're ready to snap the ball.
Are you sure they're going to kick a field goal?
Well, I'm not sure.
But these 2 guys, I don't think so.
Rutgers trailing in this game, but boy, a long ways they have come for this program. They started with the first game ever, beating Princeton 6-4 back in '69, and I'm talking 1869. Their first All-American, Paul Robeson, in the teens. Alex Kroll led the undefeated team in 1961. And then finally a bowl win over Kansas State in the Texas Bowl last year. And now they're trying to stay with the #7 team in the country, trailing 14-3. McAfee from 42 yards on the way, and it is right down River Street. Perfect. And the Mountaineers add 3 to the total, and they'll head to the locker room with a comfortable lead. Let's go down to Bonnie.
Coach, it was really windy in the first half. How did that affect your team's ability on offense?
Well, I don't know if Mike was having a hard time, but I think any quarterback would going into the wind. We just got to kind of get up there and get things settled down a little bit. We're not tackling very well.
How much of a hard time you think he was having with the thumb injury?
He says he's okay. So, but we got to tackle better. That has nothing to do with his thumb.
I was going to talk defensively speaking. You know what the double-edged sword is with West Virginia. What kind of adjustments do you see?
We've had people free to the ball. We got to tackle.
Okay, Coach, thanks.
So his team down, and they've got to make some adjustments as we get set for John, Craig, and Doug in our New York studios with our halftime report coming.
And here they come. The Knights of Rutgers.
The give to Slayton.
The cutback, and look out now. Slayton in the open field. Got a convoy ahead of him. Slayton down the sideline. Touchdown. What a run.
Back in Piscataway on a rainy Saturday, Rutgers trailing on their home field 17-3. College football, ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. There's your score, the #7 team in the country in the BCS standings with a 2-touchdown lead. Guys, you're 5 and dime guys.
They nickeled and dimed them, White and Slayton. Those guys are great, aren't they? I mean, the way they can run, and one of them's a quarterback. It's amazing that that they've only had 5 possessions and Rutgers only had 4 possessions. Very unusual.
White 72 yards and a touchdown. Slayton 62 yards and a 38-yard score. Ray Rice is playing well, but that's about all that's going right for Rutgers right now.
And you know what? You got to love what West Virginia's defense is doing. Okay, they know Ray Rice is going to get 100 yards or more. Okay, but don't let anybody else beat you.
Right.
And they're not allowing anyone else to beat them. And that's a good thing. Rice is going to get 100, maybe 125. But he's the only guy that's going to do any damage.
Mike Teal, I think, is still the key. When they went to the 2-quarterback system, it kind of helped them on that one drive.
Yeah, and I think they've got to get the ball to their big playmakers on the outside, Underwood and Britz. Those are the guys that can make the play. Don't go away from Ray Rice, but he's not going to get you a quick one. You need to get the ball, and these guys got to catch it on the outside.
See both quarterbacks warming up. Both will probably play again in the second half. And we talked about not many possessions, but West Virginia knew what to do with it. Remember, one of those followed the punt that hit one of the gunners for Rutgers in the back, and it was recovered by Monty Ivy, and they only had to go 31 yards in 5 plays for that one touchdown.
That's right. That was kind of a fluke thing, a kind of a lucky break for the Mountaineers.
West Virginia with the lead, and they're going to get the football first. They're last to the field, though. They're just getting back out on the field right now. Rich Rodriguez looks a little bit drier than he did when he headed to the locker room. And he says, let's go. We'll see if they change the pace any in the second half now that they've got the lead. Will they change the approach, or will they go with what got them to this point? Let's check in with Bonnie.
Well, Rich Rodriguez is a little bit drier and not happy because the skies are dry. One of the things West Virginia wanted to do was control the tempo. He said with a wet ball and with all of the wind, it's hard to do. He said the drier the ball is for us, the faster we can run our offense. So look for West Virginia to try to pick up the tempo a little bit in the second half. Defensively, of course, stopping Ray Rice is a key. McGuire, you're right. You know Rice is going to get his yards. What he wants to make sure the Mountaineers prevent is the big play.
And they haven't done that yet today. Ray hasn't had a big-time play.
Did she say McGuire is right?
Yes.
McGuire? That could be a song.
That sounds strange, doesn't it?
Wash her mouth out with soap.
It's Halloween. It's one of those trick
It's a treat. It's a treat for him to hear you say that.
Hear, but it's a trick for the audience.
Trickerations.
Your Christmas present is in the mail as we speak. Next year's.
So 17-3, 2-touchdown lead. And the bad news for Rutgers, as they hope to beat West Virginia, is that the Mountaineers will get the football first to start things off. There's Mr. Dynamite all day long, both throwing and running. His only touchdown, a 1-yard score. Adjustment-wise for these teams, and I would say with nickels and dimes in the first half, I'd say show me more money, more of the same.
I like that. Show me more White and Slayton, and then the other side, get the ball to the playmakers.
They've got to start getting it to the wide receivers. Underwood dropped 3 passes, including one that could have been a touchdown. Yes. He did take a big hit from Monday in the end zone, but could have been a very different story, I think, had the Rutgers receivers played a little bit better in the first half. We'll see how they do in the second.
Right on, partner.
Ito to kick off with Vaughn, Rivers, and Slayton back deep. This one will go to Rivers at about the 11. I beg your pardon, it's Jock Sanders. And out across the 20 to the 27-yard line. Pacific Life game summary statistically in the first half. There's how it looked. Total yardage, not that much different. West Virginia, 167.
How about yards per play?
Yeah, that'll help.
That's on first down.
Yeah.
Man.
And the points off turnover, again, that was the punt that hit one of the Rutgers players in the back and was recovered by Ivy, and that led to a 31-yard march for Pat White's 1-yard touchdown run. But here's White and Slayton in the backfield on first down at the 28-yard line to start the third quarter. White wanted to throw this one, and he's going to go down. Boy, that's a perfect remedy for the Rutgers defense to get a big play on the opening snap, and it's Damaso Munoz, the inside linebacker, that made the play. The Mountaineers leaders, you might guess it's going to be those 3 guys, and it was. 6 out of 9 throwing, and on the ground he had 72 yards rushing. Slayton 62 yards rushing, both with rushing touchdowns. Renaud 2 catches.
You mentioned it earlier that Pat White, the quarterback, 6th in the nation in pass efficiency. Not in a lot of yardage, but when he throws, he's very efficient.
He's going to throw here, and that one in the dirt. or in the field turf intended for Renaud.
Well, you just made him feel real good, didn't you?
I tried to throw him a little love, and then he just threw it in the ground.
Yeah, I think the neat thing about him, though, is he's only thrown 2 interceptions this entire year. So he manages the ball extremely well.
This might sound crazy, but I think this is the biggest play of the day for Rutgers. If they can stop this 3rd and long, they're going to get good field position, and it would be a great way for their defense to start to fire up the crowd here at the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Well said. And this Schiano defense is in attack mode. They like to get after you.
Looks like they're going to come after Patrick White again. Nope, they back out of it. White throws complete across the 30 and out to the 35. It's not going to be a first down, though, to Jala. A pickup of 14 on 3rd and 17. So you would assume they're going to have to give it up.
So stay on the field. Defense, stay out there. Stay.
You didn't have to read those signals,
yeah,
that's what that meant. Just stay where you are.
Yeah.
Now they bring out McAfee to punt. They're going to run a guy back deep. Dennis Campbell finally trots back there.
Look at this formation. I mean, I love this punt formation.
These punt formations are getting crazier and crazier.
They're about to be a man short, aren't they?
Not anymore.
They got one now. Just in time. McAfee, boy, he got all of this one. Great kick. Campbell at the 15. Got about 6 on the return. So they don't get quite the kind of field position they could have had they not given up that 3rd down pass. Rutgers, they're getting good players from around here now. That's the key, and that's been a change over the years as Greg Schiano in his 7th year now has 61 guys from right here. There's a lot of good football players in this part of the country.
19 of their 22 starters are from New Jersey or New York.
Keep them home. Yep. Keep them home.
60% of their players come from New Jersey, and that is a huge difference from when Greg Schiano first took over.
Of course, Greg and his family, his mom and dad and his rest of his family all live right in the general vicinity here. He's from here. He just built a new house that he moved into 3 days ago.
Yep.
It's very close to the stadium. Here's his quarterback with a bad thumb, laying one out, and it's intercepted. No, drops. Eric Wicks had it about 3 times and couldn't hold it, and that's a break. And, you know, Underwood was open. It was just a little bit underthrown or a great play by the defensive back, one of the two.
That was underthrown. I mean, you're absolutely right. Underwood was wide open. He was behind the defense, and this ball just didn't have enough zip on it to get it there. You got to put some air under it, first of all. You're going to see it. Take a look at where's Underwood coming across.
He didn't see him.
Oh, he didn't see him, did he?
He didn't see
He didn't see him.
No.
Yeah.
You're right.
See, you not only got to follow your receiver across, but where you're going to throw it, you got to look forward, and if there's anybody there, you throw it over that area also.
Now the draw play to Rice, and Ray gets out to about 27, 28-yard line. Bonnie?
You know, you talk about how many more New York, New Jersey kids Rutgers has. We asked Schiano, you know, how much do you continue to recruit Florida? Because he did that early. Remember, he had that great recruiting base from being in Miami. And he said, you know, we want the kids to come from the tri-state area, but I'll always recruit in Miami because of the way the players are groomed. They have long spring practices in high school. They're passionate. They're coached hard. When they get here, they are ready to play.
And if you don't start getting some guys from Ohio, you're not going to win.
Here's Teal under some pressure, throws short. On the crossing route, Underwood's got a first down out to the 38, almost the 39-yard line. So Underwood, who's dropped 3 today, holds on to that one and picks up a big first down.
Well, Rutgers has, what do they have, 17 players from Florida. Let's take another look at this. There's Underwood right there. Going to go fake in and come back to the outside. Doesn't have to be big, long plays. Just get the drive going. The first play of the second half for Rutgers was that pass that was a little bit underthrown that Teal didn't see the linebacker dropping back.
Underwood, all 3 of his catches have been on 3rd down. And now first down from the 39. It's Rice. Ray keeps on going. And as Greg Schiano told us, you know, he's one of those guys that keeps getting stronger as the game goes on.
He's one of those guys that just keeps getting stronger as the game goes on. He loves to carry the football. He trains to do it. He works all season long, you know, takes care of his body, and he's blessed. I mean, he's really a naturally strong, talented young man, and he, you know, at times he can take a game and put it on his back.
He's trying to right here over 4,000 yards. I didn't mean to completely mimic Coach Schiano there. Kind of forgot what he told us, but I knew, generally speaking, that's what he was talking about. Here is number 27, bouncing it to the outside and going to have a first down or very close to it. Ryan Mundy stood him up and stayed with him.
And he's one of those guys. Ray Rice is one of those guys that can wear out a defense. I mean, he just keeps coming at you. That was his mama there. She's got her helmet on. As soon as they put a face mask on that baby, she's
ready
going
to go.
in.
Yeah, that's his mom, Janet. She only sits it's about 2 rows behind their bench over there. And Greg Schiano says, I can hear her throughout the whole game, what she's talking about over there.
That's a great hymn.
They're going to measure this one. Over on the far side, and it is that close. Inches shy of a first down. And she's saying first down. Mom's saying first down, but unfortunately, Jerry McGinn, our referee, is saying a couple inches short. So they'll bring it back out and spot it where it'll be third down and inches, beg your pardon. Greg Schiano saying, you know, if you made a better spot, I'd have had a first down.
Yeah, he's working the sideline now.
Working the back judge a little bit.
Working the officials on the side there. It's always good to do. Coach Shula, I always watch Coach Shula do that. You know, he was pretty good too.
You might not get the call there, but you get one later.
Oh yeah, you don't want that one there. You're just working for one down the road.
There's the bowl rings Mom's got, or the big time game rings, as the quarterback's going to sneak it for the first down. Right at the 50. So Rutgers got something working here early in the third quarter. West Virginia defensively have been really stingy this year compared to last season when they were 109th in the country against the pass, and now 5th. They got a lot of seniors and stuff back there, and that helps.
Yeah, they've improved in every area.
They're a classic example of why experience is so important in college football, to get your fifth-year seniors and these guys in the game and keep them healthy.
Rice outside, got the corner and more. Down to the 35-yard line. Another 15-yard gain.
You know, when I talk about Rice, he kind of wears you out. But if you're a defensive guy, what they did on that corner is they just did not stay on the outside. And if you're going to attack Ray Rice, you better make sure that you keep him inside. When he gets outside, I said this when I first saw the film on this guy, I said, I've not seen a guy yet that gets outside quicker than he does.
Well, wait a minute now. He just doesn't run to the outside.
Oh, no.
He runs up inside, and then his feet and his lateral movement allow him to jump to the outside.
Here's Lovelace now, the backup quarterback. Out of the shotgun, takes it straight ahead for 3 yards. This is something they did in the first half rather successfully, interchanging quarterbacks, Teal and Lovelace, and he'll come back out now, and Mike will come back in.
When Lovelace comes in the ball game, it's almost an offense very similar to what West Virginia runs.
Right.
It's a spread, quarterback draw, shotgun, draw play, run, whatever. But he's going to run the football, or he's going to hand it off to somebody.
You saw him talking to John McNulty, the offensive coordinator, as he got over there to the sideline. 9th play of the Rutgers drive upcoming. And it's Ray Rice. And he takes everybody head on. He's short of the first down by about a yard. Reed Williams, one of the linebackers, made the stop.
Always falling forward.
Exactly. Yes. He's only had 1 loss or no gain all day long. Don't forget 4 races to go in the chase for the Cup. Who can come out on top? NASCAR Nextel Cup roars into Atlanta. Nextel Cup Series continues on ABC tomorrow. Coverage starts 1 o'clock Eastern with NASCAR Countdown out at AMS Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton.
I'm cruising, boys.
Oh, I know you're cruising. You're cruising for a bruising because you keep taking the favorite, the pole sitter, and all that stuff. That's easy.
I don't take the favorite. He earned it.
Okay. 3rd down and short. Ray Rice earning the first down. He's got it down to the 23-yard line. 3rd time on 3rd down that Ray has rushed for a first down. So they move the sticks, and Rutgers plodding away here. 9 minutes, a lot of time left, plenty of time left to make this a football game. If they get a touchdown on this drive, we're going to have a good one.
Oh, for sure. This is a statement drive right here. Come out, first drive of the second half. Greg talked to him at halftime. Offense, we need something. We haven't scored. Let's get one. First possession of the second half.
They got the crowd back into it a little bit, especially when the defense is out there. 43,620 are here today. 6th largest crowd in Rutgers Stadium history, even with the rain. Ray Rice cut back inside the 15, Close to another first down at the 14-yard line.
You know what's amazing about this play is you just watch the guys that West Virginia gets cut down. Watch on the right-hand side of this screen. Watch these guys get cut down. Boom, boom, boom. There's two guys on the ground. Now, Ray Rice, as soon as he sees this, there are guys on the ground. He's back in that hole, right where the guys were knocked down and couldn't get in the pursuit.
Looked like really, really big dominoes right there. Second down and a yard. This is a play you can play with a little bit if you want to, but they've been doing so well, they might just keep going to Ray Rice. And they do. And he does inside the 10, but flags down. I think we're going to have a holding call. Might be on Pedro Sosa, the left tackle. He was out in the general vicinity.
Number 77. 10-yard penalty.
You watch Rice run, and he just runs with so much patience. Not something he came into college with, but something he told me that he really picked up on from Brian Leonard, who's with the Rams now, but he was a 3-time All-American with Rutgers. He said, I remember when I first came in, I thought every run was at the same speed, but Brian was one of the guys who really taught me that every time you get the ball, it's just a completely different situation. Sometimes you hit a hole right away. Sometimes you lag a little bit and wait for the hole to open up. Slowly but surely, after watching Brian, said Rice, I started to get the picture, and you see it paying off on almost every time he gets a rock.
He'll go again probably shortly.
I hate those offensive penalties. They have 2nd and 1. Now you got 2nd and 11.
And it's Teal to throw. Underwood dropped another one at the goal line. I'm not trying to get on this kid, but he's got to hold on to some of these.
Well, he got hit too.
I know he did.
This one he should have just went up into the air, got the ball around his body, and just hung on.
Larry Williams, number 3, is the guy that comes in at the end of this thing, and it's almost like perfect timing. Boy, you're right. There's a drop. There's another drop. Here's the one where he gets hit in the end zone. That's his 3rd. Now here comes number 4. Watch this. Now that was a pretty good hit by Larry Williams.
Yeah, but if you want to make sure you catch it, leave your feet, catch it around your body, and then just take the punishment.
Teal in a shotgun throws this one way out, too far in front of Brown.
That one looked like he just got away from it. It looked like he didn't have control of it.
You could see the frustration on Schiano.
Yeah, and what a drive. Grease, you were right. What a drive killer.
Yeah, the holding penalty set it back to 11 yards, and then the drop pass. You just don't win games against good football teams making those types of mistakes.
Remember, they had a 2nd down and 1 at the 14-yard line, and now they're going to have to try to settle for a 41-yard field goal. Andrew DePaulo, remember, the 3rd-string quarterback is the holder, and they pulled off a fake field goal for a touchdown in their win a week ago Thursday. Here they'll try to add the 3, and they didn't get it. Oh, boy. A great drive and nothing to show for it. Still 17-3.
TV is an official sponsor of ESPN College Football on ABC HD.
A 13-play drive and a missed field goal. That's a killer. Their other drive for a field goal was 11 plays. 24 plays from scrimmage and only 3 points to show for it. So the Mountaineers take over at their own 35-yard line. Patrick White tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Kevin Malice, the linebacker, got a hand on it.
You know, yes, they did everything that they really wanted to do in that drive. They went for 6 minutes and 2 seconds. They're running the clock down, keeping it away from the offense of West Virginia. And Bob said, and it's true, you got one stupid penalty that kills the entire drive, and they get nothing out of it.
See if their defense can come to the task again as they did earlier in this quarter. Slayton trying to cut back, and the defense is there to meet him. Loss on the play. Eric Foster with the tackle. And a loss of a couple. Foster returning All-American, 2-time captain, number 56, and trying to get the crowd into it as well.
These guys like to hold hands on, too, as tough as they are, Brad.
You bet. That way they know that they're not going to the wrong side of the field from their teammates. Now this time they're just going to line it up.
Yeah.
3rd down and 13. Big play again for the Scarlet Knights defense. Here comes a blitz. Pretty well timed. High snap. Slips Green to Slayton. Got by 1. 25. Slayton down the sideline. He might be gone. One man to beat, and he'll run right into him, but he's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and that looked like a play that was never going to happen, and look what he turned it into.
Now, you're talking about a play that's never going to happen if the guy's slow. You're talking about a guy with great speed, and he's the fastest guy on this football team, and he just showed you why he is.
It's all the nickel and dime. Pat White getting away from the blitz, getting the ball out to Slayton, and then Slayton, because everybody was blitzing, only had to beat 1 or 2 guys.
Got one great block.
Yeah.
Boy, a guy that got 2 blocks on the same play, as a matter of fact. Noel Devine in for the first time after a 51-yard play by Slayton. They fake it to him, and White's going to take it. He's tripped up. Nice defensive play by LaFedge, the freshman who came up and made the stop. Don't forget country music's biggest night's coming up on Wednesday, November 7th on ABC. Music's hottest stars will be there. They have an exclusive award show performance by the Eagles and a lot more.
Yeah.
Coming up a week from Wednesday.
I'll be watching that one.
You know it. We've seen our boy Toby Keese.
You ain't as good as you once was.
But I'm as good once as I ever was.
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you. Second down, 9. Again, Rutgers starts to show blitz, and now White comes up throwing, completes it out to Jock Sanders, another freshman with a lot of speed, little guy out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
You know what's really neat about that Slayton run, though, at the end of it, and you called it as he was running, he knew he couldn't outrun the last guy, so he decided, well, if I'm not going to outrun him, let me go take him on and just give him a shoulder.
And he got about 10 more yards before they got him down. Devine stays in there, flanking White on a 3rd down and 3. This is where a quarterback like White can do a lot of damage if they give him the option to throw or run. Taking his time. Here they come off the corner, and he will take the quarterback draw straight up the middle. Patrick White to the 5-yard line.
The spread offense is just so dangerous. Anything you throw at them, if you have the advantage for the first part of the play, they have such skilled players in Pat White and Slayton that they can get away from you. Right there, he should have been sacked.
Instead, he's got a 1st and goal.
That was number 90, Westerman, who just doesn't make the tackle. And if you don't make the tackle on White right at the line of scrimmage, he's got 10 to 15 or more.
Mountaineers with a 2-touchdown lead, looking for more. 1st and goal at the Scarlet Knights 5-yard line. White play fake to Slayton, throws high, incomplete, intended for Brandon Hogan in the back of the end zone.
Remember yesterday we were talking to Schiano, and he said defensively now on their offense, we want to keep a man and a half.
Yeah.
On Slayton, on White, and on Renaud. Their big wide receiver.
Hard to find those half guys out there.
It's hard to tough. I don't think you could have 2 guys on these guys in the open field. They've been getting away from a lot of these people.
Well, if you're going to roll again, I'd look for Schmidt, that big guy that plays fullback and also tight end.
He's to Patrick White's right. Slayton to his left. 2nd and goal at the 5. Slayton behind Schmidt. Now the cutback. Got a block from White. He's down inside the 1. That's a pretty good block by a quarterback.
That's a good tackle.
It was.
It was a pretty good block by Schmidt. I mean, this guy, Schmidt, again, we talk about him. The guy ended up, he's broken 9 face masks. Schmidt is the guy. Watch him come back. Boom. It just knocks the linebacker out of the hole. Then White gets an excellent block.
That's McCourty on the tackle. Devin, one of the twins.
If he didn't break a face mask on that, I bet he loosened a couple of screws.
He's an amazing guy.
He's the up man in the eye. Slayton the tail. 3rd and goal. Mountaineers. Slayton behind Schmidt. Easy score. Touchdown, West Virginia. The 2nd of the day.
What a turnaround in the last 2 possessions.
That's a 14-point swing the way things were going. Looked like Rutgers was going in for a touchdown. Here comes Slayton on that pass from White all the way down. They get it down to the 1, and he does the rest. And that is really, you talk about quieting a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I have to whisper right now.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other things, too, when you talk about the offensive line, there's one thing that offensive linemen love to do, and they love the run block. And with these two guys running the ball behind them, I mean, it's just a ball.
McAfee's extra point is up and good. West Virginia taking command of this Big East matchup in New Jersey. Rutgers on the short end. White's got one, and now Slayton's got two. It's 24-3 Mountaineers.
This presentation of college football brought to you by Best Buy. For a complete home theater experience, get HD done right at Best Buy. Hummer, like nothing else. Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. And Verizon Wireless.
A couple hours before each home game, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights touch the statue before heading to the locker room. Statue commemorates the first intercollegiate football game. Remember, we told you that was the one against Princeton back in the day. 6-4 was the final score.
Found out how they got the 4.
How'd they do that?
Field goal and an extra point.
Just forgot the touchdown, huh?
Yeah, that's what Tom said.
Here's a kick to the goal line to James Townsend. And he gets hammered before he got to the 20-yard line, and a flag on the play as well. Don't forget Breeders' Cup. The Cup Sprint's coming up. 9 minutes to posts.
Yeah, Paul, who do you like in that one?
Well, I like commentator.
Commentator, he's coming out of the 6 slot.
I'm kind of like that number 4 horse, Bradley.
Number 4, Talent Search.
Talent Search,
That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
But you know what? The
favorite.
A lot of chalks have been. A lot of the favorites have been run. The chalks are working today.
Midnight Loot's a favorite, right?
Chalks.
The chalk. The chalk.
What are you? There are multiple flags. All sides on West Virginia. Number 29. Then a return. Holding. Number 48 on Rutgers. Penalties offset. Free kick.
We'll do it again, says Jerry McGinn. 24-3.
Did you say chalk? What do you know about horses?
He knows a lot of things about a lot of stuff.
I know just enough to get me in trouble.
Well, so far the favorites have been doing well at the Breeders' Cup, and the favorite here today is the number 7 team in the country, West Virginia, and they lead 24-3. And that thing might need a little 3-in-1 oil when this day's done for the Scarlet Knight over there to make things not so rusty. We'll kick it again. McAfee, who has all his extra points and a field goal at the final gun of the second quarter, has got a tee back up. We'll see if Townsend or Robinson can make more of the return this time.
I think West Virginia is making a statement to climb up the polls, the BCS polls.
Townsend again, this time from the 3. And a little better return. Got out to about the 23. Pat Lazier made the stop on the special teams. So now Rutgers has another opportunity. Last time 13 plays and nothing to show for it. They're going to hope to get something out of this drive if they can get one going.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say, I think Steve Slayton is making his bid for the Heisman myself.
He's not hurting his chances. Of course, 3 guys really on this field, including number 27 right there, that have to be considered in that chase. You start to wonder, though, with 2 losses for Rutgers, if they lose this one, regardless of what Ray might put up numbers-wise, your team's got to keep winning, too. Tough run again out to the 30 as he got about 6. So Rice, who went over the 1,000-yard mark with his first carry, over the 4,000 career mark, and against top 10 teams, doing pretty darn well, huh? I said to him yesterday as he was leaving our meeting room, I said, Ray, how about about 212 tomorrow? Here he is on the receiving end and throwing a stiff arm. He is playing as hard as he was the first 2 minutes of the ball game. So he may not get to 212, but who knows if he gets a long one here.
Well, you have to keep feeding it to Rice, because that's your bread and butter, and that's the heart of this offense. But sometimes you got to get it to those big play guys.
And that one tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Magro got a hand on it.
I'm talking about Kenny Britt on the outside.
They haven't even thrown one his way yet today.
I haven't seen it. He has not had a reception. They've thrown a lot to Underwood, and he's dropped a few of them, but get the ball to Kenny Britt.
A lot of you will see USF and Connecticut. Connecticut topped the Big East. That one will follow us. Many of you here, at least on the East Coast, will see that game. Other regional action, you can check the listings for the game you'll get following our matchup here from Piscataway. Teal fires. Oh my goodness, another drop pass. This one is Tim Brown's problem. You can't ask Mike Teal to do it much better than he's doing it with a bad hand.
No,
but you got to get some help.
You're exactly right. And that ball was right there, and he tried to catch it backhanded. He turned his hands back. Do you see that, Paul?
You know, think about it. He's got a bad hand, but he's throwing the guys with two bad hands. These guys are dropping everything. You know what? Talking to Shiano the other day, I mean, which I really liked about him. He says, I don't go out and pick kids that like football. You either have to love it or you can't come here. And you think Ray Rice doesn't love it?
Yeah, he does. 11 incompletions from Mike Teal, but 5 of those are drop balls. Now he's running for his life and throws on the run, and this one is held on to by Underwood at about the 39, but it's still going to be 3rd down and close to 7. No, it's 4th down. Beg your pardon, punting situation.
They need a spark, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him do something strange here.
It's just such a tough spot on the field to do it. Your own 39-yard line. I guess that's when people don't expect things like that anyway. West Virginia's got a man on that whole front wall. He'll just kick this one as far as he can. And it's going to go out of bounds. They'll mark it somewhere around the 25-yard line. So that's where West Virginia will have the ball and the lead when we come back. Patrick White, over 200 total yards and a touchdown. Ray Rice, 133 on the ground. Unfortunately for Rutgers fans, not in the end zone yet. And the Mountaineers in front 24-3 with 2:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Renaud went in motion, and Slayton went forward to about the 29-yard line. Post time for the Breeders' Cup. Let's check in with Bonnie.
Slayton told me he watched the first 5 games on film, and he said not necessarily that I was taking plays off, but he wasn't happy with how hard he was running. He said he was missing holes, and so now, since then, he's had a greater sense of resolve. 127 yards against Mississippi State, 2 touchdowns today. With all the rest of the games Big East, he said, my motto for the rest of the year is no excuses.
2nd down and 8. Patrick White in the spread with 4 receivers and Schmidt with him. Schmidt leads the way, and White's out to about the 33-yard line. ESPN's coverage of college football on ABC presented by Best Buy. You see our score 24-3 as we're down to the final minute and a half of the 3rd quarter, and time is of the essence to the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, all decked out in complete black uniforms today for the first time in their history, which goes back a long, long ways. They might not don the all-black again if they don't find a way to come back in the 4th quarter. White throws to Schmidt, and he hurdles a man at the 40. The big fella at 260 showing his boing boings.
McCourty, Devin McCourty, one of the twins, he went down, and Schmidt went up. And I'm telling you, this guy, you talk about agility, and this is a big man. Watch this move that he makes. Watch it. Put your head down. Bye. Goodbye.
That's it. This guy will be drafted in the NFL.
Very high.
Oh, yeah. He can block, he can catch, and that agility right there will be on his profile tape going around the NFL teams next spring.
That might be Owen's Sports Center highlight for the day.
Yeah.
And now Slayton bounces it outside. Flags fly in. We're probably going to have a holding call. Eric Foster made the stop, pickup of a couple, but again, I think it's coming back. And it is holding against West Virginia. With that, as they back it up, let's take a look at our Best Buy playbook. Robert?
All right, it's like anything. All day long, West Virginia has been making the plays. Slayton sees, hey, there's nothing going over there. I'm going to come back and go to the right. I got one guy to beat. A little boop to the inside, jump outside. That's one missed tackle. There's another missed tackle. But West Virginia all day long has been making the plays with Slayton and White, and Rutgers has not been making the plays, and that's why we have the score that we have.
With the holding penalty, it's backed up to 1st and 20, back at the 42. The big fella bodyguard, Schmidt, is to Patrick White's right, and that's where they're going to run, and now he cuts it up the middle and got to the 45-yard line.
Did you see him look over?
Yeah.
I mean, he was right next to the bench, right next to Rich Rodriguez, and he was just looked right over there and said, Coach, is it, you want me to run that play? You want to change it?
And the third quarter comes to a close. It's all Mountaineers right now. Can the Scarlet Knights find a way to battle back in the fourth quarter? Hang around. We'll find out together. Well, we're set to start the fourth quarter. Can Rutgers Scarlet Knights come back in the final 15 minutes and make it a ball game? We're about to find out. But the Mountaineers take the field with that high-octane offense, and they don't give up many points in the fourth quarter all season long, so that's been a staple for West Virginia's defense this year. Only a field goal for Rutgers so far. 2nd down and long, 2nd and 17 for Pat White and the Mountaineer offense. And now we got flags down to start the quarter. Well, I guess Halloween to this point has been sort of a nightmare, fellas, for Rutgers. Curly, Larry, it's been great to be along with you. And love having you as brothers. Yep.
Oh, nice guy, eh?
Happy Halloween.
You know what? I just feel like I look better.
You do look good. You finally got rid of that mustache. And now we go to the real action. We just want to do a little something for Halloween, folks.
Get you in the Halloween spirit.
Absolutely. 2nd down and long. White's in trouble, buying himself some time, still looking downfield, and now he'll just take it and be bumped out of bounds by Munoz. Bonnie?
I just wonder if you realize how much mileage I'm going to get out of the three of you wearing those masks. I mean, really, it is truly, it's almost like a MasterCard commercial. It's priceless. It's going to wind up on so many blooper reels.
Where is your costume?
She's got it on.
I am a wet rat. That's what I am for Halloween. I didn't have to dress up, and I didn't have to work very hard for it, obviously.
Bonnie, I'm going to tell you, Bonnie, that's a beautiful looking mask you have on.
Yeah, well, it's amazing what a little makeup can do now, isn't it?
You look like the fisherman guy. That's who you
The
look like
Morton's
today.
fisherman.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll go with that.
All right. 3rd down and a mile. Rutgers defense could use a big play here. Pat White's a big play waiting to happen. 45, almost got to the 1st down marker, got to the 42-yard line. Patrick White, Steve Slayton, Ray Rice, all the guys in this game today have got to be considered hopefuls for the Heisman. Some of those guys weren't on the list at the beginning of the season. Dennis Dixon, we saw a lot of him, and boy, has he played well. He's got a big game at hand tonight. Mike Hart missed last week's game. They play Minnesota today, but Mike's put up sensational numbers all season long. Tim Tebow, I got to think, right now, even though he's a sophomore, the way he's playing, he's in the top couple, if you ask me.
If you're going to be honest with your voting,
right,
he's got to be in the consideration. 3 running backs on that list and 1 wide receiver, Deshaun Jackson. The rest were quarterbacks.
McAfee fakes the run, and now with the punt. And this one all the way down and perfectly stopped at the 1-yard line by Larry Williams. You talk about a punt that takes a great hop and a guy that's fast enough to get down there. 42-yard kick drops dead at the 1-yard line.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC.
Talk about a quiet cannon. You take away a field goal, and those guys have not been very busy over there. Now at the 1-yard line, that's where Rutgers has got to start. And Ray Rice is about 7 yards deep in his own end zone as the tailback. And Dykes, Keelan Dykes with quick push there, and that should give a little more breathing room to Rutgers. Here's the punt that landed at the 1.
Take a look at this. Now watch it. When he hits this ball, see how the nose is down? Now he's going to hit up mainly the back part of the ball. And it goes, and then it starts that forward roll. And you're not going to run up and catch it because it doesn't go very high, number one. And then, and you said it, Brad, you got guys fast enough to get down there to catch it.
And you know that little hesitation when he looked like he was going to run just for a split second, those guys got down there that much faster.
Exactly.
Larry Williams is just standing at the 1 yard line going, here it comes. So they do get a little bit more room to work with, and Ray Rice now trying to pop it outside, got out to the 10, almost to the first down marker. Morty Ivy made the stop. Well, it looks like Ray's going to have great numbers again, but maybe in a losing effort unless some big plays start to occur. As we're down to 13:35 remaining in the ball game. Ray Rice 137 yards today on the ground so far. On 28 totes. Said he came in a little bit heavier this year, did a lot more running in the offseason, came in heavier and then worked his way into shape down to about 205, which is where he is now. And he's got a first down out at the 12-yard line. Don't forget, coming up tonight, big game in the Big Ten. The sights set on the Big Ten title and a lot more for the #1 team in the country. Ohio State's got to travel to Happy Valley for maybe their biggest test of the season. They'll take on number 25 Penn State tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, presented by Southwest Airlines.
Numbers on this, Brad. The 6th time these two teams have played at Beaver Stadium since Penn State joined the conference in '94. The margin of victory, a touchdown or less, all but once. So
wow.
It could be a good one.
I hope we have a good one tonight. We'll be watching. Rice tripped up as he got out near the 15-yard line by Reed Williams.
This is bringing a little bit of booze.
Yeah, it is.
Well, they're backed up. They had 2 tight ends. They took the ball over on their own 1 yard line.
Pretty soon they're going to have to throw. You would think it's here. Out of the shotgun, Mike Teal loads it and fires. Oh, what a hit. Over at the 18-yard line on Kevin Brock. Antonio Lewis just laid the wood. And Antonio's the guy that's not getting up. You could hear the crack, and we're about as far away from that play as you could possibly be, and you could hear the impact. He's saying, I got it right in the helmet, and I got a few birds flying around in my belfry.
Yeah, he's only 5'10", 185 pounds.
Now he's 5'6".
Yeah.
And Brock's 6'5", 250.
A lot of times when that happens, you may catch a knee in the helmet.
That's what he was explaining. He did get hit in the head.
Watch it again.
There you go.
Yeah.
The right knee.
Yep.
Right knee into the helmet.
So slowly coming off is Antonio Lewis. He's had a good ball game. The senior out of Waldorf, Maryland. He says, I got double vision, guys. It's like McGuire on Thursday night. 3rd down coming up.
Oh, only McGuire, huh?
That's right.
What about you? Where are you two guys?
We're studying.
Yeah, we were studying. We were watching the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a finish for Boston College in that one. Here comes a blitz. Teal completes it over the middle. It's a first down. Tim Brown holds on. And they move out a little bit more breathing room, and now they're going to hurry up. It's about time. Clock stopped momentarily. They'll move and reset the change. 12:15 remaining in the 4th quarter. Down by 21. Teal again. Wide open guy this time. Underwood's got a first down. Pickup of 12 more.
You know, it wasn't too long ago that the Big East was kind of down when all those 3 teams left and go to the ACC and all that. And I'm very impressed the way not only the ACC has come back, but these coaches, the way they've taken these programs and ran with them.
The Big East was kind of the surprise last year. So many good teams. These 2 clubs and Louisville and Cincinnati getting better all the time, and a bowl winner, and UConn on top of the heap right now. USF came out of nowhere almost 11 years after the program started. They were ranked number 2 a week and a half ago. So there's been a lot of surprises, but they get a lot more respect, this conference and these teams, than they used to a few years ago.
I think I said the Big East. I mean the ACC. The Big East has come back.
Right.
But I'm very impressed with Schiano and Rodriguez and how they run these two teams. They're very impressive, and it's not a wonder that these teams are doing really well.
Here comes a blitz on Teal. Stands in and delivers. Underwood across the middle. And he's got a big play down to the 41-yard line. First down, Rutgers. And Rich Rodriguez talked with us about the very thing we've just been talking about this conference.
There's a lot less negativity, certainly, than there was a couple years ago. It was really tough 3 or 4 years ago, and now you don't see that. We battled it in recruiting, which is your biggest concern, but now I think all the Big East coaches will tell you, now people are singing our praises.
And, of course, the renovation that Greg Schiano's done here is just remarkable. They're going to increase the stadium size down to our right, the open end, and the stadium renovation will start as soon as December hits. And they'll have 55,000 in here by 2009. There's that sidearm throw Bob was talking about with a wet ball. It's incomplete.
Now that was a grab ball.
Mike Teal had hit his last 7 passes till that one.
You know, the thing about it is, too, when you talk to these coaches, how much easier it is to recruit. You know, you get players now that want to come because they're getting the exposure. I mean, you look at Rutgers. What, they got 10,000 waiting list for season tickets now? I mean, it's just incredible what these guys have done with these programs.
Pittsburgh has battled back to tie Louisville 17-17. That's what Rutgers would love to do here, but they got a long ways to go. They're down 3 scores and under 11.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. On third down, Teal throws and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver and almost intercepted. Tim Brown had his hands on it. You can hear the unrest at Rutgers Stadium. They are a little bit annoyed with the wide receivers of Rutgers right now.
Well, they have a reason to. And the other thing, too, is you're looking at West Virginia. They're only sending 3 guys. They're playing 8 deep in coverage, and you're not covering the short stuff.
Here's the throw coming. Tim Brown had to go airborne, but still, you get your hands on it. That's what you're supposed to do, is catch it.
Anybody can make the easy catch. We need guys to make the tough catches.
6 drop passes. Hasn't been Mike Teal's fault at all today. And here they go on 4th down, knowing that time is running out. They might not get many more chances. Teal fires. It's intercepted. Picked off by Allen. Boogie Allen in the secondary has got an interception.
You've been waiting all day for Boogie.
Boogie just made a big play, and it's Boogie Nights in Morgantown later on tonight if they keep this lead. 11 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the ball game. Rutgers makes a mistake, and it's the Mountaineers in control.
John Saunders in New York with the Sports Center update powered by Vizio. At the Breeders' Cup, Midnight Loot wins the sprint. That's the son of Real Quiet, who won the Kentucky Derby in 1998. Bob Baffert, 2nd win of the day. And in college football, Mississippi State about to get their 5th victory of the year. Anthony Dixon from a yard out. They'd also be 2-1 in conference play.
Wow, big win for Coach Kroom and company, huh? Here it's West Virginia by 3 touchdowns with 11 minutes remaining in the ball game. The 7th-ranked team in the country on the road trying to win 13th straight game over Rutgers.
Well, your horse in the Breeders' Cup sprint didn't win. Commentator?
They never do.
But
neither did Talent Search.
But the favorite did win.
That's right.
So another chalk is winning.
Thank you.
Here comes the end around. Renaud got the corner, and Darius goes out in front of his own coaches right at about the 1st down marker. We talked about BC. We watched that win the other night. A dramatic fashion for Matt Ryan, who's got to be considered a guy that's maybe Heisman.
Yeah, I feel better
worthy.
about Boston College being ranked up there after they beat these guys the other night, but they were not the best team for 58 minutes.
That's right. I've heard people say that LSU will be jumping Boston College to number 2 by not playing. How's that work?
Well, I don't think that just because you're undefeated, you should be ranked higher than a 1-loss team.
I understand that, but how can you be idle and all of a sudden make a hop? I mean, that's putting a lot of faith in LSU. Are they that good? I mean, I know they're darn good. So is this guy. Patrick White out near midfield. And now West Virginia with one of the greatest ground games in college football maybe ever with Slayton and White. And coming in number 2 in the country and rushing at over 300 yards a game. That's all they want to do right now is rush the ball, let them move the chains, rush some more. And Owen Schmidt out there always getting ahead on somebody, the fullback.
If you didn't hear at the beginning, this guy, just so far in his career, 9 broken face masks. 4 this year.
None today that we know of.
Well, like you said, you think that one had some screws loose.
Yeah, I think so. I think that goal line block was pretty close to loosening one anyway. And this time Slayton follows him, and he isn't going to get much. In fact, no gain or maybe a little bit of a loss on the play.
All right.
We talked about Owen Schmidt, 260 pounds, considered the #1 fullback prospect maybe for the National Football League. Not only big and strong and can block. Watch this. Well, here comes the block that made it loosen the face mask a little bit. But he's also got the agility. This is a good one right here. Whoop! Nice, huh? You look at the coaches behind it. They're going crazy over that one. They'll watch that 50 times this week.
Oh, yeah. When they show that in the meeting,
that's a standing O.
The players will go crazy.
Yeah, they'll go crazy on that one. Just shy of midfield. There's a high snap. White handles it, though. And now he's just got to get down. Second or third time we've had a high snap in the spread, and White had to jump up and hold on to that one. Reminder, time permitting, after the game, John, Craig, and Doug will be in New York. They'll bring you the Dell post-game report with all the scores and highlights of the day. And some surprises again, apparently, about to occur.
Let me ask you a question now in this BCS. How about Arizona State? Do you think they should be ranked 4th ahead of Oregon and Oklahoma?
They're undefeated.
I don't care about that. I asked you a question.
I just told you they're undefeated.
I think they'll have their hands full tonight. But, you know, I'll have a better feel on that about 10 o'clock tonight, probably.
We'll call you.
Just leave me alone. Yeah. White. Quarterback draw, taken off across midfield, on his way, and then some. Cuts back outside, inside the 30. Patrick White weaving his way down the field. What a run by number 5.
Hey, you know, Ness, this guy's been playing for 52 minutes. And he just threw moves on these guys that they saw on the very first time he ran the ball in the very first quarter. Look at the people that he fakes out. Now, the guy's going to really throw. Nothing's there. He sees the hole. He goes to the outside. Watch the moves he's going to make. 1. Back to the inside. Here comes 2. Back to the outside.
And then it's speed alone.
Now 3. Back to the inside. Now 4. Back to the outside again. I mean, it's just unbelievable watching this guy.
That was 3rd and 16. He got 50 yards. And now it's 1st and goal, West Virginia. And that's his buddy Slayton easily to the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers. And that's ball game with 8:12 to go.
Very impressive, West Virginia, not only offensively but defensively. They've had it all going here today.
And good old Owen Schmidt just put another guy on the ground. I'll tell you, it's got to be a joy for a guy like Slayton to look and see a fullback that's 260 to 265 lead down in front of you, not just leading but knocking people down.
8:12 to go, all Mountaineers. It's 31-3. That's the offensive coordinator, Calvin McGee.
Yep.
Helping call the shots for head coach Rich Rodriguez. Hey, everything they plug in, as long as it's 5 and dime, it's money.
This presentation of college football brought to you by Best Buy. For a complete home theater experience, get HD done right at Best Buy. Saturn. With 5 totally new models, it's just something to rethink about. Saturn. Olivia. Award-winning high-definition television. And Nivea for Men. Replenishing aftershave balm for a shaving world gone mad.
That is a family that gets into Halloween. I'll tell you that much.
You get into Halloween pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't know. Our yard doesn't look like that anymore.
That looks like a reunion at Greason's.
Oh, boy. Well, it's been nothing but demons and goblins if you're a Rutgers fan today. All the treats going West Virginia's way. Picked up at the 11 by Townsend on the kick return. And Townsend out to about the 34-yard line. We go out to John Saunders. John?
Brad, just for a reminder, check local listings at the bottom of the hour. Some of you will watch Nebraska try and avoid losing their 4th straight. Others in the ACC, Maryland, Clemson, or South Florida against UConn. Leaders in the Big East. That's coming up at 3:30. Brad.
All right, John, thanks. We'll be looking forward to that. And West Virginia is going to be inching a little bit closer to the #1 team, UConn, in the Big East. Rutgers, unless a miracle happens, as Teal throws and finally got one to Kenny Britt. We've been waiting the whole game for the big guy to get one down the middle, and he does all the way to the 40-yard line. A reminder, near the conclusion of our game, we'll select Chevrolet Player of the Game from each team. Chevy will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. That'll be coming up in sometime in the next 7 minutes or so. Mike Teal wants to go deep. He's got a man out there. Should have been a holding call, I thought, and there flies the flag finally. They were going again for Britt. And Boogie Allen, who had an interception earlier, the young defensive back, is the guy that's going to be guilty back there.
And I'll tell you one thing, this is a pretty good deal what Allen did, because he was beaten. There would have been a touchdown, but he grabbed hold of him.
That's right. It's better than 6.
Pass interference. On the defense, number 20, 15 yards from the previous line of scrimmage, automatic, touchdown.
Here's another look.
Yeah, he saves the touchdown here. Watch, he's going to grab about right now. He knows he's beaten.
Yeah.
I think that's a good defensive play.
Oh, sure. Kenny Britt came into the ball game with 58 career receptions and 6 touchdowns, averaging over 20 yards per reception. So that's why we've been asking to see if you can get the ball to Kenny Britt.
Britt comes in motion to the bottom of your screen on first down at the 26. Steele across the middle, completes. And if Britt again, well, Bob said all day it's 5 and dime. And those guys, there's your 5 and there's your 10, and you add that together and you get 15 cents and you get 31 points. Kenny Britt. And that's that kind of day. That young fella just said it all. Grab your head and go,
yep.
Man, what could have been on a couple catches maybe. Well, there's your 5 and dimers. Big time playmakers.
White's the quarterback, 144 yards passing and 156 yards rushing. So he's had more running yards than he has passing yards.
That's 300. 300. I love that. Right on the nose. It's time to get out. When you hit 300, you can go home.
Third down, Teal fires. It's intercepted in the end zone. Coming out is Ryan Mundy. Mundy on the run, and he's got some blockers in front of him. He's all the way back out past Rutgers' original line of scrimmage out to the 32-yard line.
They've got him listed as a free safety, and that's exactly what free safeties are supposed to do. Just sit there free. Nobody sees you. You don't look, and you just step up and make the interception. Whoops. Watch it. This is what legitimate free safety is all about. Monday is number 21. He's just sitting there in midfield, makes the interception. Now watch these guys convert to offense. I mean, that's what's really kind of neat. They got that ball all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Going to be happy town in Morgantown. They're surrounding their captain. They're saying, leave him alone. Give him some air. After the run back. He's the old man back there. That's why they're giving him some grief. As we mentioned earlier, already graduated from Michigan and had a year of eligibility left and was able to go to Morgantown and continue to play. A little used and very short rule that AA rescinded recently. Talk about our performers of the week, guys. Who you got, Grease?
I got my man, Matt Ryan. You know, he's had a hell of a week.
Well, Josh Beckett, I take him because he won the first game of the World Series.
I think I'm going to go with Tom Brady, career high 6 TDs for the Patriots. Not half bad.
Not too bad. I'm going to go with Max McGee, Super Bowl I hero, one of the great guys ever. Great storyteller, great family man, receiver with a hangover who had 7 catches in Super Bowl I to help Bart Starr and the Packers win that title. And, of course, he died tragically last weekend after a fall from his roof at his home in Minnesota. 6:31 remaining in the ball game. It's all West Virginia here in Piscataway. There's our group down in the truck. They've got the fever. They've got the feeling of Halloween. And amazingly, all of those are improvements over what they really look like.
Yes.
So it's good stuff.
It's good stuff, yeah. Getting in the swing of things.
Jerry Brown is in at quarterback. Finally. We were wondering why Patrick White would still be out there. And here comes the little guy, Noel Devine. And he can scoot in a hurry, too. Little guy with great speed. Our Pacific Life game summary, as you would imagine. All the good stuff is on the West Virginia side of things. 3 touchdowns for Steve Slayton today, including that electrifying 38-yard touchdown run. But Patrick White outdid him today. 156 on the ground, 144 in the air, 300 total yards. Sensational run of 50 yards down the sideline, set up their last touchdown. And he's been as good as advertised all day long. 11th straight game. That 100-yard rusher. And whoop, did he just do a little Heisman thing?
Yeah,
or was he just goofing around?
No, he said 10. He's
pointing at Slayton. Oh, okay, that's good. I was going to say, Patrick's so quiet, I couldn't believe that he would be the guy.
Yeah.
I didn't see his running back there on the right side of the screen. Devine. Boy, he's as quick as the other guys. He's as fast as a NASCAR car, speaking of which, in Atlanta tomorrow at AMS. And Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, they're battling down to the wire. We'll find out who's going to win tomorrow, 1 o'clock on ABC. Pep Boys Auto 500 in Atlanta. I'm staying with Tony Stewart because he's a defending champion down there in Atlanta, in Hampton, actually.
I picked Jeff Gordon about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking Carl Edwards because if he doesn't win, he's going to beat the hell out of everybody.
Now, whatever, Jimmy Johnson, he's already won in Atlanta this year, and I'll tell you what, he qualified higher than all of your guys.
Ooh.
Nice going.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Take that one. Okay. Here's Devine, and he's out pretty close to the first down here in the final 5 minutes. The stadium has, for the most part, emptied. They came hoping that the Scarlet Knights could go to 3-1 in the conference and 6-2 overall. And
But there's some
coming out on the short
excitement.
end.
There's some excitement about because they're going to enclose the open end zone down here. Going to add about 10, 15,000 seats. Going to add some skyboxes across the way over there. So things are happening. And we were talking to...
There's the open end. That's what will be enclosed.
Yeah. Talking about Schiano the other day, and he was talking about the good things that are happening. So he's happy here.
Let's check in with Matt Weiner in New York. Matt, what do you got?
Hi, Brad. Check out the finish at Louisville. Pittsburgh down by 7. Pat Bostic hits O'Derrick Turner. Ruled a touchdown on the field, but ultimately ruled down at the 1. So they have to do it again. Handoff's no good. LaShawn McCoy coughs it up. Louisville hops on it. That's how it ends. Dave Wannstedt miserable. The Cardinals lead it 24-17. Time running out there. Michigan State and Iowa in overtime. Spartans have the early lead.
Wow.
Dave Wannstedt's going through a tough year at Pittsburgh.
You bet.
Got a lot of injuries. A lot of guys been hurt.
They dropped to 3-4 in this conference. High snap. McAfee's been a busy guy today as both a punter and a field goal kicker and a place kicker. And that one Dennis Campbell dives for after a 34-yard punt. Rutgers gets it back for probably the final time with under 5 minutes remaining. Well, Rutgers had beaten back-to-back top 10 teams for the first time in their 138 years of football history, but it's not going to be 3 straight after their win over number 2 USF a week ago Thursday and the win over Louisville here last year late in the season. And they were hoping to finally break the jinx against the Mountaineers, but the Mountaineers winning streak now against Rutgers is going to go to 13 games.
Well, you know, if you look at West Virginia's defense, they knew that Ray Rice is going to get his 100 or whatever it is, and 135, 140. But don't let anybody else beat you. But there were some receivers that dropped a whole lot of balls today that I just thought was horrible. And Teal, as a quarterback, played well. Rutgers, on the other hand, we knew at the beginning that they had to stop 2 guys, White and Slayton,
Yeah.
or one, if they could stop one of them. But they couldn't stop either one. Couldn't even slow them down.
Yep. 4 touchdowns between those two guys, and that's been the story of the ballgame.
I think the whole thing is when Rutgers came out for the second half, they got the offensive going.
13-play drive.
They moved 13 plays and down 2nd and 1 inside the 20-yard line, and they had an offensive holding penalty. Now it's 2nd and 11. They don't get anything out of that drive. That turned the whole game for them.
Yep, missed the field goal. 13-play drive and a missed field goal. You don't see that very often.
Yeah.
So out of 24 plays, they missed a field goal and they got a field goal. That's all they could muster today. So with less than 4 minutes to go in the ball game, they got a first down, but long day for Mike, and he'll have better ones, and that thumb hopefully will get better, but it wasn't his passing that was the problem.
His thumb was all right today. He did fine with all the stuff we were talking about before the ball game, and was he going to be able to play?
Yeah.
He played fine. It's just he didn't get much help.
47 family members at the game today, including Uncle Kevin, right? That's the barbecue guy. He's got the tailgate thing, and those ribs aren't going to taste as good today as they normally would have.
But there'll be a lot of family out there to support him. And how about Rich Rodriguez, a graduate of West Virginia, almost left West Virginia earlier this year, took the job at Alabama, and then retracted, came back. I think a bunch of the alumni at West Virginia got together and said, wait a minute, we can sweeten the pot a little bit for you, Rich.
Yeah. 10th West Virginia alum to coach the team. 4 consecutive New Year's Bowls, back-to-back top 10 finishes. He's done a great job. Ball out, and West Virginia's got it. Scooter Berry with the recovery. He caused it. He recovered it. And as things go like this, they just snowball on you sometimes.
Well, you know, and the biggest improvement, really, Grease, in this entire West Virginia team has been their defense, and I think we documented that when you look at what they did a year ago and how they improved. Now, again, they have experienced players. They have a whole gang of seniors on this football team. But, boy, what a turnaround for a team.
Are they a top 5 team?
Are they a top? Yes, they
West
are.
Virginia?
Yes, they are.
I think so. Do you?
I do, too, yeah. And
I wanted to see their defense play, and their defense played really, really well today, including Dingle and Berry.
They really did. They both played extremely well.
And now West Virginia just wants to eat this last 2:43. Noel Devine spins his way for a couple.
You know, there's a guy, you just talked, we didn't have much time to talk about Devine, but there's a guy, if he gets in the open, you talk about another guy that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
They've got probably a pretty good 4x100 track team on this
no doubt
football
about
team.
that. He's got a gift when he has his ball in his hands, as Rich Rodriguez told us. We had a 76-yard run earlier this year in the Maryland game, so he can scoot too. 2nd down and 7 in the final couple of minutes of the ball game. Rutgers still shifting around defensively. Clock ticks under 2 minutes. Devine again wants to get a first down and stay in bounds. He does both, but there's a flag thrown by the referee, who saw something out there that nobody else saw. It's holding, and it's on West Virginia as we go to Matt Weiner, New York. Matt.
All right, Brad, here's our nominee for the AT&T ESPN All-America Player of the Week. Boston College's Matt Ryan didn't have a great night statistically, but if you're looking for a Heisman campaign signature moment, his might have come Thursday at Virginia Tech. A couple of touchdown drives and passes in the final 2 minutes, 11 seconds to keep their unbeaten dream alive. Text vote to 87654 on your AT&T wireless telephone to cast your vote.
Yeah, Boston College, the cream of the ACC crop right now.
It's all perception.
It is.
You know,
exactly.
Some of the guys on the ball game the other night, when Matt wasn't doing well and he was getting sacked and didn't look horrible. So, this may hurt his Heisman chances. Yeah.
Hey,
you know,
Matt Weiner wasn't there, though. Matt's got him back, and that's good. That's good.
Wow.
And now
what a difference a couple minutes can make, right?
That's true. That's for sure.
Here's Devine in the open field. Down to the 30.
Well, the other thing in that ball game, Virginia Tech is a classic example of why you don't go in. For 58 minutes, you beat somebody up, and then you go into the prevent defense. And the only thing the prevent defense can ever do for you is prevent you from winning. And it did them. If I'm going to blame anybody, I'm going to blame the defensive coordinator who called And, you know, you go after a guy. You're beating him up all night long. Why would you allow him to buy time and do things? I'm sorry. I don't agree with it.
Markel Harrison's in at quarterback now. So West Virginia's getting a chance to use a lot of guys that haven't seen time earlier in the ball game anyway. Again, Devine gets the carry. Oh, he got whacked at the 30-yard line. I don't think he got the first down. Let's give you our Chevrolet players of the game. I bet you had a pretty good guess on this one. Ray Rice for Rutgers. He was, unfortunately, almost all of their offense with 142 yards. And Patrick White, 300 total yards, including a touchdown run and a long 50-yarder that set up his buddy Steve Slayton for another score. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Well, Rutgers' dream with the all-black uniforms to pick off another top 10 team comes up short as Coach Schiano and Coach Rodriguez shake hands at midfield, and a resounding win for the Mountaineers. Let's check in with Bonnie.
Pat White, West Virginia talked about how unconventional Rutgers' defense is. What did you see as you were lining up behind center that enabled you to put up 300 yards between your rushing and passing today?
Well, we just executed. Coach did a great job of calling plays, and I guess the offense and the defense both executed today, did a good job.
There's one particular play I want you to break down for me. 3rd and 13 with the score that allowed you to go up by 21. You took the snap high and got it off to Slayton. How did that break down?
I guess I got lucky. I mean, the balls were a little wet today, so the snaps were, I guess, kind of flying everywhere. Got lucky and got the ball in Steve's hands. He made the rest happen. He's fast, though. His speed is amazing.
13 straight wins for West Virginia over Rutgers, Brad.
All right, well, he's soft-spoken, but he can get the job done, that's for sure. 13 straight wins over Rutgers, as Bonnie just mentioned. Patrick White, the player of the game. The final score, Mountaineers 31, Rutgers 3. For Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, and Bonnie Bernstein, Brad Nessler saying so long from Piscataway. Stay tuned for the Dell postgame report